So Mom Brain is not coming down to the house.
She's not.
Use this mic. Go Nintendo Podcast episode something.
No.
Oh no, we're not at that part yet.
You can do it if you want.
I don't know what episode it is. I don't know. 999.
969.
Here you. I'll point to you, and you can do it.
Okay.
You know what to say?
This. And
Well,
then that.
I mean, but the intro.
Retro Rick
No.
retweeted.
No. All right, I'm gonna do it. 3, 2, 1.
Go Nintendo Podcast 867. The Runerigus Pokemon.
That's definitely wrong.
Podcast number 867. Go Nintendo Podcast number 867.
That's right.
The Runerigus Pokemon.
Nope. I'm not talking about you pronouncing the Pokemon name wrong. We expect that from you.
The Runerigus Cast.
Close, very close. The Runerigus Podcast. Luke, can you tell us a little bit about Rune Regis?
I'm sure can. I'm glad you asked.
Rune Regis?
A powerful curse was woven into an ancient painting.
Regis Filgrin?
After absorbing the spirit of a Yamask, the painting began to move.
Yamasks are, I want to say, ghosts in Japan?
It has a height of... That's all the information you get.
No, it's not true.
Well, I don't know anything else about this thing. It's got a height of 5'3". It's got a weight of 146.8 pounds.
By you saying you don't know anything else about the Pokemon, you meant no more lore because that's all that I wrote for you.
The only lore.
Yeah, okay.
Painting began to move.
Can you tell us about attributes?
It's got a grudge category.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wandering spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It exchanges abilities with a Pokemon that hits it with a move that makes direct contact.
Very good.
And they could be male and female.
Sexy.
Not or. Male and female.
That's correct.
Okay.
End of Pokemon section.
Yeah, that's why we do that. It worked. Thank you, Lube.
End of Pokemon section.
So first things first, let me get all of this out of the way. Lube is here, but is going to be leaving any minute now, right?
Probably. I know they're going to call within 5 minutes.
Oh, no.
He's got 2 dogs that are being prettied up. And they would be done a while ago, but they are not done, apparently. So he'll be leaving, but maybe coming back for part of the podcast.
Hopefully,
Definitely coming back,
yes.
But maybe part of the podcast. Mom Brain was also going to be here, but she's doing college work and she found out that she will not be able to do it tomorrow. So she's staying upstairs doing more college work.
Fed up with this world.
Nicky Hill would have been here, but he came into contact with someone at work who has COVID-19, so he will be staying away just to be safe. He is not riddled with COVID himself, at least not yet, or not for sure, but being safe rather than sorry. My sister was supposed to be here. She will also be here later tonight, so not for the not for the podcast. She was up all night last night with a migraine, so she did not have a fun time. So who do you get? You get me. You get Deux Michaels on soundboard this week. We got Kirby.
Hey.
And as I said, we got Lube for whoever knows how long. Maybe they just forgot the dogs were there.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'll take some sweet pictures of the dogs.
No, that's all right. No, that's okay.
Well, maybe people want to.
Don't care for dogs.
Too sweet.
Josh Grobot is here. Josh, my friend, my old college roommate, the best singer in the world. How are you doing? Old buddy, old pal.
Smash.
College roommate, the best singer in the world. How are you doing? Old buddy, old pal.
Smash that subscribe.
Smash it, baby. That's right. We also got there was something I was going to ask.
Thanks.
Very cool. There's something I was going to ask Josh and I forgot. It's gone. Maybe I'll come back to me. Anyway, George is here. George, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing lime. Real lime.
Lime. No hello this week, George?
Lime.
Buongiorno.
There we go. Man, what did I want to
Moving on.
ask? Yeah, Josh, I had some time. What did I want to say to you? It's gone. I don't remember. Whatever.
No, not at all.
Let me say hello to the people of the chat. Thanks for joining us this weekend, everybody. Hello to Colma and Sarah and PC and Red Souza, Kylie and Tom. There, look at that old picture of George there. Khufu the Mummy, Giant Reggie, Sneaker Hacks, William George, who I will be reading comments from in a minute. Anastasia Beaverhausen with my favorite GIF. Red Souza is very excited. They said Lube with 2 exclamation points. Excited for Lube? He's leaving soon.
Only 2.
Um,
I mean,
Gecko-
if there was more, I would stay longer. but-
Drake, Gecko Kitsune, whoever, Nico Darunia. Thanks for coming, everybody. We're glad to see you. Colma, it's a rarity. Happy to see you here. This show is going to be a mess. I'm just going to be honest. Everything fell apart today, so we'll see what happens. The good thing is we have a lot of top stories to talk about. I do have some other things beforehand. I'm going to put you on the spot in hopefully a good way, but I'm going to surprise you with it. But here's your announcement of the upcoming surprise. It's good. It's good.
Okay. All right.
I promise this is not like a gotcha or a throwing you under the bus moment. It's an
April
exciting
Fools.
thing. That's what it is. April Fools, you're off the show. So let me see. What do I got here? Before we get into regular news. Yes, I wanted to say this. So last week we talked all about the completionist situation. I wanted to point out, people pointed this out to me, so I want to make sure you all hear it. The completionist paid for the games through sponsorships on videos and plans to donate the hard drives and SD cards on games or with the games on it to the Video Game History Foundation. So I was either unclear or incorrect last week when I quickly mentioned how he purchased all those games. So now you know, money through sponsorships is how he purchased them, and that's where the games are going. So thank you, everybody, to let me know that. Moving on from that, as you might remember, was it 2 weeks ago was the vampire spam that I got?
Yes, 2 weeks, I think.
Well, we got another spam.
Oh no, from the Wolfman this time?
No, it's not vampire related this time. 2
I
weeks
said
ago.
Wolfman.
Oh, sorry, it's not. It's not monster related this time. Lube, 2 weeks ago, I got a very long spam comment on the site that was about basically bettering your life by becoming a vampire. And they gave an email address to contact them to start your journey to vampiredom.
Nice.
So,
I mean,
Die, monster.
spam? Are you sure?
What'd you say?
Are you sure it was spam?
Listen. I said, listen.
I'm
I can't say for sure, no, but I didn't want to give out the email address that was attached to it because I don't want to get. Listen, if
Okay.
it was spam, I don't want people to get spammed up. But potentially, everybody's missing out on becoming a vampire. So I don't know. It's a risk. I would imagine if you really want to become a vampire, you can find this guy on your own. So search for the exact message I read to you last week, and you'll probably find it a million other places. This is the new spam comment. This is for a T-shirt, a pasta T-shirt.
All right.
Mhm.
Because Mario is Italian and likes
right,
pasta.
you're right. It says this pasta design shows a pasta with a funny saying for pasta lovers. Perfect for anyone that loves spaghetti with meatballs or spaghetti with meat sauce.
I love both of those things.
I'm here because I was told there would be spaghetti. That was the entire message. The shirt does not say that last thing, which you would think would be the quote on the shirt. And yes, it did have a link to a shirt that I risked clicking on. And it did have a picture of a shirt. I will send it in the Discord in a moment. But let me show it to the people at the table. Because it's certainly a shirt about pasta. That's it.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, I think it's exactly $60. Let me send that in. The shirt for our audio listeners only is a shirt that says "I want pasta," and it has a picture of a bowl with spaghetti and a fork. That's
It's
it.
a good shirt. I would wear that shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
it-
Garfield shirt if
yeah.
I've ever seen one.
I've seen
I mean,
worse
it
shirts.
seems like something that you would get off the walls at like Hot Topic or something.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah, Jersey Shore for sure.
Uh,
For sure.
There you go, guys. I sent it to you in the Discord. Oh, Ratsuza, I want pasta. Well, this is the shirt for you, my friend. So please, potentially spam people, not officially spam people, continue to send us your amazing comments because we're going to have a whole litany of shirts to buy and what else can you turn into besides a vampire and a werewolf?
A ghost.
A zombie, a ghost. Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you like can you
I mean,
once you're a ghost forever, right? Just like
Yeah.
a vampire.
Yeah.
At least if you're a wolf man, you can like take it easy for a while. You're a normal person, and then
For a couple weeks or right.
every full moon.
So we'll see whatever comes next. I promise I'll let you guys know. What else we got here? Sony and Microsoft are going through their whole Microsoft wants to buy Activision. Sony says no, they can't do that. Back and forth. So now it's gotten to the point where where Microsoft is just incredibly fed up with Sony. So they've worked this amazing thing where they know people in Congress are idiots, and they have convinced them that Sony has a monopoly on the game industry in Japan. So U.S. members of Congress
they told Congress that Sony uses the Wi-Fi.
That's what does Sony connect to the Wi-Fi? U.S. members of Congress have raised concerns over Sony's monopoly over the high-end games market in Japan. This comes from gamesindustry.biz, saying it's preventing healthy competition in the country. Also reported by Politico, U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell made this remark during a Senate Finance Committee hearing last week, calling on U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai to bring the issue up with Japan in its ongoing trade talks. It's worth noting that the discussion completely ignores the existence and prevalence of Nintendo in the Japanese market. In 2022, the Switch was the best-selling hardware of the year in Japan. 9 out of the top 10 games of the year were Nintendo first-party titles.
Listen, they said
Perhaps
high
that was
end,
the most
all right,
important
not that
part.
lowbrow
Yes,
Nintendo stuff.
That's the funny thing, because Microsoft knew they had to put some sort of qualifier in there, so they're like, high end, they'll do it. This is a quote. I'm told that Sony controls a monopoly of 98% of the high-end game market, yet Japan's government has allowed Sony to engage in blatant anti-competitive conduct through exclusive deals and payments to game publishers. This came from Cantwell, the representative, adding that Japan's Fair Trade Commission has, quote, failed to investigate these exclusionary conducts. Talking to Axios, Microsoft spokesperson David Cuddy said, quote, Sony's anti-competitive tactics deserve discussion, and we welcome further investigation to ensure a level playing field in the video game industry. End quote. So this is so stupid.
All right. I mean, give me a definition of high end.
Whatever you want it to be.
That statement could be true.
Whatever you want it to be. I don't know what it means. It means whatever. Listen,
we need them to define it for me.
Congress doesn't care. They just know that Sony's got 98% of the high-end game market in Japan.
They just know that someone brought a wheelbarrow full of money up to their door.
Yeah, exactly. I guarantee no one on that committee was like, "What is high-end?" They were just like, "Oh, we can't. We can't have this. This is crazy." So yeah, it's embarrassing, and as you were referencing with the connecting the Wi-Fi, it's just as embarrassing as the TikTok hearings that went on, which aren't about TikTok. They're about overreaching internet protections and all that stuff.
What rules, you sons of bitches?
TikTok is a scapegoat because of China. So I watched almost all of those hearings while I was working.
Oh yeah,
and I mean, you saw at least one of the highlights. They were.
Oh yeah, just watching a few seconds.
Yeah,
here and there it's just embarrassing.
What's that one guy? The Congress guy with the eye patch.
Crenshaw.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Him. He started off by saying, like, I'm paraphrasing. He's like, "You think everybody in Congress is out of touch and not up to speed on what's going on with TikTok and all this. We know what we're talking about." Followed by people who had no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah, that's become a meme now.
Like Kirby said, one was
if you have to announce that.
Does TikTok access my Wi-Fi? And the guy from TikTok is like, well, if you let it connect to the Wi-Fi, he's like, also accessing my Wi-Fi.
Also, can you please tell me what Wi-Fi is?
Yeah. Another one was like
pupil dilation.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Why does TikTok need to look at my retinas and capture my retinas for its data? And the guy was like, well, we don't. To enhance the algorithm or whatever he said. And the TikTok guy was like, we don't do that. We have cameras where, like, if you use an app, it puts a filter on your face. And the guy for
like sunglasses.
The congressman was like, well, why does it have to do that? And the guy's like, it's a camera. Like any app that uses a camera is going to capture your picture. That's what apps and cameras do.
What?
And then a whole bunch of other crap. So yeah, this is the same thing. I don't know how. Well, I know how Microsoft managed to do this. It's just like Lube said, money I'm sure is related. Also, just the base ignorance and stupidity of these people related to this topic that Microsoft or whoever the powers that be can say, well, they got the high-end market in Japan, and that's 98%, and that's just not fair. So now our congressional members are saying we need to look over into Japan for unfair business practices. It's ridiculous.
I mean, 98% is.
It is. That's
a pretty
very
big
yeah.
number,
and especially that's very important for the high-end games market, which we all say, and we all know what the high-end games market is.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, Lou.
Bye.
Maybe we'll see you later. Well, we'll definitely see you later. Maybe we'll see you on the podcast.
We didn't even make it to top stories.
So that takes a while. Anyway. We made it 15 minutes in. So yeah,
He didn't say anything offensive in that 15
That's
minutes.
true.
So
he could still hear us. He may come back. So yeah, it's just, like I'm sure at this point Sony is like, we probably shouldn't have said anything because now this whole thing is going to go on, and now it's going to impact them in Japan. At least there's going to be discussions and hearings and meetings where more details need to be sussed out, and it's just a big mess. So whatever. We also have William George, who sent in podcast listener William George, who sent in a quick review of Peepsy Pepsi because they were influenced after last week's show. They sent a picture to me showing that they were at the store, they listened to the podcast, and they were influenced to buy Peepsy. So they have now tasted they've now tasted the Peepsy, and I said I would read the review. So as someone that is strictly a Coca-Cola drinker, I was intrigued by the Peeps Pepsi. I went in with low expectations, but was very blown away by how good it actually was.
Delicious.
And so far, I'm the only one in the family that actually liked it. The taste reminded me of a carrot cake more than Peeps. I will more than likely buy it again once this pack is gone. Goes well with a moon pie too. Now that moon pie and soda just in general. I'm not knocking anybody who likes to do that, but that's not for me.
I don't like eating sweets and soda.
Yeah, if I'm drinking, listen, in my old days, I would have a giant glass of milk and a moon pie or something like that. Now it's water because I hate myself. But yeah, soda and especially Peeps Pepsi and a moon pie. That'd
be too sweet for me.
More power to you. More power to you. But there you go. Somebody who tried Peepsy and actually really liked it. So those people are out there. We only have one more thing I want to talk about, but it's not me talking about it. It's you talking about it, Deux.
Oh,
I
no.
purposefully didn't ask you any questions about this because I was hoping you could talk about it on the podcast, and it is game related. Did you finish the Tetris movie?
No, I played it. I started again. I got maybe 45 minutes left. I fell asleep again last night. I've tried 2 nights to watch it, but I've just been. It's not because it's boring. It's just I've been starting it too late at night.
Well, do you have some thoughts you want to share based on what you've seen?
I mean, they're trying really, really hard to make getting like publishing rights for a 1980s video game to be interesting. You know, it's not very interesting, and like, you know, the way they edit it together, in my opinion, and this is just one man's, you know, lonely opinion, I feel like they're like playing down to a dumb audience. They're just like, "Ooh, here we'll throw in like this editing of like so you understand what's going on." And you've seen the movie, right? You don't.
No.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't.
Well, then I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. So basically, like, see, I thought you'd seen it and you know what I was talking about. So they edit it in a way where because there's like a lot of people talking, and they in order to get the audience to like understand what you're talking about when it comes to publishing, which it's not that difficult.
Yeah.
But like they'll throw in like 8-bit graphics of like a businessman and like a thing and like and it's the whole movie is peppered with editing like that. And
gotta remind people it's a video game movie.
Yeah, exact, kind of like that. I mean, it says, you know, it is what it is. It doesn't ruin the movie, and the movie's, you know, like I said, I still have to finish it. I'm watching it because I like video games. Any other reason, probably wouldn't be watching it. I'm also getting up to, I've had it up to here, and I'm looking at you too, Daisy Jones and the Six. I've had it up to here with these like period pieces that don't feel period. Now, I wasn't alive in the 70s, or in this case of Tetris, the 80s.
Hi, Buck.
But I just don't feel like people talked like that. Maybe they did. Maybe they talked and
How they
acted
talking?
just like that.
Give me an example. I don't know.
I cannot. It just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel real. It feels like people
1970s and everybody's got
like,
a transatlantic accent.
It feels it feels like people today wrote the script trying to sound like the 80s or trying to sound like the 70s. So those things, I'm very hypercritical to stuff like that. But yeah, I don't have really anything to say about the movie because I haven't finished it all yet. So, well, after talking for 10 minutes about the movie.
I was hoping you were going to talk about it having finished it. Because
like a
no,
cliffhanger or something?
no, nothing. Just because I like could give or take watching it, and I wanted to see what you thought of it first, and then I'd maybe give it a shot or not. But I guess I'll watch it anyway. So
well, we all knew you were going to watch it anyway. If I didn't like it, you'd watch it probably seconds after the podcast.
Well,
and if I did like it, you'd probably watch it in 10 years.
Well, I thought your discussion of it would foster more of a reason for me to watch it, and then we could discuss next week on the show.
It never does. You listen to me complain, and you go, "I want to watch those," and then tell him those are the reasons I liked
for
the
discussion
movie.
For the podcast. I thought it'd be fun, and it's a video game related.
Well,
movie,
I appreciate you wanting to know my 2 cents, but
plus you said you like to be first, which is what we talked about with another show unrelated to here.
No,
so I wanted to give you the floor.
I like to get the credit for recommending the show. That's what I mean by first.
Oh, okay.
Because I was never mind. We don't have to go into that because it sounds really petty. Because we're talking about watching TV shows.
Now I will watch it since. Well, you're gonna finish it, right?
I'm gonna finish it. Yeah, I want to finish it. Okay. It's not the word. It's it's fine. And I like I said, I like Tetris, and I like. There's some like little Nintendo things in there that probably aren't true, but it's cool to see like someone playing Yamauchi and like someone playing like the guy who invented Game Boy and stuff. Like there's like things.
Oh, Yokoi's in there? Really?
Somebody's
Gunpei Yokoi would be the Game Boy man.
Somebody's in there. There's people in there that are supposed to be real people. And
so how did they say that the president's name in a movie? Because I never remember if it's Yamauchi or Yamauchi.
It's more like a Yamauchi.
All right. Well,
but I don't know, but not like quite like that.
The real life Hank Rogers. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. The real life Hank Rogers did an interview talking about. Well, he's been doing a lot of interviews talking about the movie. Hank Rogers is the guy who's responsible for securing the deal between Nintendo, or with Nintendo to get Tetris on the systems. So he plays a big part in the movie. I would imagine he's the main role in the movie.
Yeah, he's the main guy, Terran something.
So in the movie, my understanding is he like sneaks his way into a meeting with Nintendo's president.
He kinda does that.
So in this interview I was reading, he's like, the movie plays up certain things and makes up certain things and does exactly or shows things exactly as they were in real life. And he was asked by Polygon, like, how did the Nintendo partnership come about? He's like, yeah, the movie really dramatizes it. It's like he said him and the president of Nintendo were already friends and they played the game Go before, or shogi, whatever you want to call it. That's what they used to do. So they had a friendship.
Oh.
And then one day they because they were already friends, Hank was like, hey, Tetris on Nintendo? And he's like, how much money would it take? And Hank was like, $300,000. And the president said, okay. And they shook hands and that was it. So it was like a 1 minute thing and it was done.
Yeah, it would have been a real short movie.
Yeah. Also, I know the movie has a car chase scene. Spoiler if you haven't gotten there. That did not happen in real life. So.
There's stuff. Look, it's not interesting subject matter. There's literally like long parts of the movie where they're in like the Russian consulate and the Russian guy's walking back and forth to different rooms trying to sell Tetris for the highest bit of money, and it's like really not that interesting. But yeah, and then there's a scene. I told you about this scene already. He walks into Nintendo headquarters and he goes right up to the secretary and he goes, I want to speak with Mr. Yamauchi, the CEO of Nintendo. And it's like, you're in Nintendo's building and in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I think she knows who Mr. Yamauchi is.
You know, it's funny because you said that, and that kind of stuff drives me nuts as well, because I always think, Like it drove me nuts in The Last of Us, where they're driving that woman, the disease expert in the car, and they're talking to her in the car, and it's like, you're so and so, the foremost leading whoever, blah blah. And I'm like, a team full of writers getting paid millions of dollars can't think of a better way to do this other than this like completely obvious conversation. So you said that about the Tetris movie, and that stuff drives me nuts. And I literally last night I was laying down on the couch going to sleep, and I'm like in my head thinking of all different ways they could have done it that wouldn't have been so blatant in your face. And I'm like, how are people who do this for a living unable to think about this stuff or see that that's a sloppy way of handling things? Like I don't get it. So I'm with you on that. That stuff really irks me. Buck says, I'm listening from a school bus. I'm taking my students to their state winter guard competition. Send us good juju. Here's your good juju, my friend. Good luck on the state winter guard competition. I don't know what that is. Does anybody?
And driving a school bus full of kids while listening to a podcast.
Hi,
that
Vision.
is hilarious.
Did you fill me in on what this winter guard thing is? I want to hear. Hi, Burn and Cheese. Did you see that school bus driver that went nuts? She was like fed up with. Listen,
I don't know.
Kids on school buses are jerks. I was a kid on a school bus. There was a period where I was a jerk.
Oh, is that what you drove away with the kids, and the kids are like out hanging out the window screen?
No. This is a different one. This just happened a couple days ago. She like pulled the bus over and like got up, and some kid sprayed perfume. The kid claims they didn't spray perfume, and she's like, I'm allergic to it. Is she? Probably not. She just doesn't like the smell. But anyway, this was the tipping point for her. And she's like, you effing kids are driving me up the wall. I hate this effing job. I used to love this effing job, and now you kids are ruined. And like, you know, she's like, don't effing laugh at me. And like naming kids by name. She's like, and you, Johnny, you all the time being such a pain in the ass. And like some other kids laugh. And she's like, Robert, you're just as bad, you piece of shovel. It's great. I feel bad for the lady because she broke. But it's pretty funny
because she's like calling out children by name and
that's the
roasting
best.
them basically.
That's what a lot of the comments are saying because they're like, this lady specifically calling out kids by name.
I don't know you, but I'm sure you're a jerk.
Yeah, you too. You're friends with old Max over here. We all know he's a piece of crap. But you know, thankfully, somebody in the back of the bus was recording the whole thing, so now we all get to enjoy it. Obviously, she does not have that job anymore. I think it might have been time for her to go, but
yeah, I was listening to what's her name from Poker Face be interviewed, Natasha Leone, and she was like talking about how her turbulent younger years, and she was just like, thank goodness we didn't have phones back then, because there's so much stuff that I want to forget, or basically that I don't want public. And holy cow, it would be like front page news today. So yeah, you basically just
you're
behave
right.
yourself.
Hi, PT. I there are so many things I did as a kid that I really, or I should say a teen, that I really regret and really am embarrassed of and look back on and cringe, which I think we all do.
I understand.
Or at least hopefully we do, because that means you've grown in some ways. But yeah, if we had recording, I mean, like, I'd be in so much trouble with some of the stuff that I did. I'd be in so much trouble. But thankfully we did not have that. We were just doing it for the fun of it, not to record it and preserve. We preserved it in our minds,
baby. That's what they call it.
Hi, Zikamudo. I mean, Dew and I together did things that would get us in trouble if it was recorded. So we've all shared. This table shared some moments together of things we regret doing, and even at the time knew we shouldn't have done, but we did them anyway. We were kids. What are you gonna do? Stupid kids. But yes, thankfully none of those things are recorded. Who was listening on the bus? What did I say their name was? I want to Buck. Yeah, Buck. Please, I need to know what this thing is. But anyway, that's all of our banter for the beginning of the show. Let's get into some news, if you please. Ooh, I replaced the cord, by the way, so there shouldn't be any issues. What do we got for news this week? As I said, there was a lot, and I'm happy to share with you. We're going to skip that one. We will talk about this, and I guess, okay, you know what? Let me do it like this. We are going to talk about Zelda. Nintendo showed Zelda gameplay. If you didn't watch the gameplay and you consider this spoiler, I would recommend skipping this section because we are going to talk about what they showed. Hopefully, by the time you're listening, we'll have the timestamp so you can just know right where to click to. But they showed the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom this week. They had
Did they ever? That's why I'm wearing my shirt today.
They had 10 minutes of gameplay hosted by Al Newman himself, Mr. Eiji Al Numa. And they went out of their way. First off, Kirby, did you watch it?
No.
Okay, so they went out of their way to not spoil story things. This was all a gameplay perspective thing. So they showed off new mechanics in this Zelda. And the collective internet's response was, I need this game now. Like the stuff that the 10-minute segment that they showed
were gonna say that
was so enticing that I watched it and I was like, oh my God, the wait for this game just got so much harder. So what did they show that was new? They showed that weapon durability is still a thing, but now you have the ability to combine items into your own weapon. So basically anything you can pick up or collect or move, you can attach it to something else and use it as long as one piece is used as a weapon to begin with, you can attach something else to it. So they literally showed like a stick with a giant boulder on the end of it, and you can swing that. They attached an eye, a monster eye, to an arrow, and that turns an arrow into a homing arrow. So you just shoot it, and it looks at the enemy and goes right to him.
And it's all done so seamlessly, like you don't have to go into a menu and like go to a crafting table or anything like that. It's just like
it's on the
you
fly.
look at it, you click on it, and then it's in your hand as a new weapon with.
And even if it's things that don't make sense, you can put them together and they will do something. Like they showed Link putting mushrooms on his shield, and it made like when an enemy hit it, it made a huge like mushroom cloud like pop out of the shield. Does that do anything for gameplay? I'm sure some enemies it'll
he
do
was able
things
to like sneak up behind the guy and assassinate. Like there's a stealth kill that he was able to do because of that.
So you could stick anything together.
They took a he took a pitchfork and a very long stick and put them together and made a really long pitchfork, and then he was just hitting
so you
people
never
from
have to
far
get
away.
near to enemies.
It was really cool.
So they showed that, and obviously with the sheer amount of items you can collect in Breath of the Wild, plus all the new things you'll be able to find in Tears of the Kingdom, it's a crazy amount of things you can create. And obviously, they showed the basic stick in Zelda breaks very easily when you're fighting an enemy. But if you attach a boulder to it, it becomes a lot more sturdy and does a lot more damage. So
that improves the
durability by a lot.
Nice.
Yeah. So how much we don't know, but enough to blast through a couple more enemies, and it didn't give a warning that your enemy was or that your stick was breaking. So yeah, I would imagine that's a unique way to enhance gameplay and also keep weapon durability while offering players a way who were frustrated by that to have more durable weapons. So it's a great idea. They also showcased something that we've seen in the trailers, which was it looked like you could build your own vehicles. Basically, you can build your own whatever. Like you imagine it, and you can build it. So it was like, here's a body of water Link's got to go across. Instead of swimming, let's build a raft. And they took literally just trees that had fallen and connected them together. And then Aonuma's like, well, actually, if we he positioned them, next to each other. He's like, actually, if we stagger them like this, then there's these fans that you can connect to it, and you can orient how they face. So you stand them up and you face them towards the back, and then anything that has this like, basically you're using some like, as far as I know, limitless goo that connects everything together. And then if something can like turn on or activate, all you do is like you hit it, right? You touch it or you hit it, and it turns on. So he built this raft with the two fans on the back and just hit it, and it turned on, and he's going across the lake. It was like, this is great. So all the crazy stuff people are going to build, I can only imagine. I'm excited to just see what happens when I connect this thing to this thing, and like whatever you can think of as far as what items are in the game, you can build it.
It looks pretty creative, and it looks really simple too. Like,
Yeah.
it's not. It doesn't look complicated, and he was building this like
Yeah, it's
right
not-
in game, right there.
It's
very
like Deux was
simply.
saying, it's very important to say, like, you're not opening up a separate menu where it's like build mode and do all this crap. It's literally the things are laying there, you connect them and you go. That's it. The only thing I saw that popped up was like the XY axis arrow. So like when he took the fan, it was laying down, and then the XY axis popped up arrow to show you like you could have it laying down or you could have it standing up, and he just whoop, turned it up, and that was it. So that was pretty much all they showed. Just like how you could make whatever weapon and you could build whatever you want. And
Well,
they were on
showed
some.
you. They showed you
that's
go.
right.
You know, there's like a reverse mode which allows you to hop on boulders that fall from the sky, and it shoots you. It like rewinds time basically, and you ride the boulder back to like a sky island, which is what they're calling those islands in the sky.
Yeah, so the sky islands are peppered all throughout, and you can see like rocks and pieces of land falling off of them. And all you have to do is walk over to one of them and do the rewind ability and stand on the rock, and it takes you back up to the top.
He made it sound like there were going to be other ways to get up there too.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
Build
I'm sure
something.
you can build something, but like there might be other ways to get up to Sky Islands. And then the other thing that was cool was the what's it called, Ascend, where you go
Yeah, I
through
don't
the
remember what it's called.
where you go through the ceiling. There's something called, and I thought it was going to be like stupid at first, but you go through the ceiling, and like I was like, oh, that's whatever, okay. But he goes into a cave and then uses it, and he goes like up through this cave and then comes out on the mountaintop. So there's going to be almost, I mean, it seems like there's like nowhere you can't go.
I would
ever.
imagine they're going to go crazy hiding like secret rooms inside of mountains that you'll
Right.
only ever find by like going through a ceiling and popping out somewhere you don't
Probably.
even expect. So I'm excited.
Well, and you have your theory
Hi,
that,
Storbus Corbin.
that there's an underworld, even more if we with that ability, because you
Yeah.
could be anywhere in the underworld, potentially, and pop up and just use that to exit the underworld or something.
Yeah,
like that.
again, that's just my own theory, a game theory. It's just my own theory, but yeah, obviously we know at least you'll be able to go inside mountains and caves or castles or buildings and zip through the roof of them. So you can do that.
It's really cool.
Buck says we spin flags and rifles in a gym to recorded music. Well, now I know, and all the good juju your way. I saw somebody said send them mango JoJo's. No, that would be bad luck. So yeah, this footage, man, it could not. Obviously, it's a Zelda game. I'm already excited, but it could not have pumped me up anymore. And I'm like, they don't even need to show anything else in between launch. Like, I don't want to see anything that focuses on story or characters, because I don't want that spoiled. I want to go into the game and enjoy that stuff on my own. But showing like, here's the cool gameplay mechanics that you got, that I'm so on. I was already on board, but I'm so just excited to get in there and try stuff out on my own, because there's so many items in Breath of the Wild that I picked up that I never used because I didn't cook, or I got no need for them. And now I'm going to be like, oh, what happens if I put a dubious meal on the end of a stick? I don't know. Maybe enemies will run away from it. I got no idea. I want to see what happens. So that's just
the
really
possibilities are, because I'm still coming across that people are playing, like doing crazy things in Breath of the Wild, like crazy things that were not necessarily intended. So now that like a lot of this stuff is intended, it's I'm hoping that the sky is going to be the limit with some of these things.
I would
really
imagine.
exciting.
GameSpot's been doing a video series of like a certain amount of things you didn't know or probably didn't know about Breath of the Wild, and they've been doing it since the game came out. And just this week they put out another like video that's like 19 things in Breath of the Wild you might not know about, and there were still things in that video where I was like, I didn't know you could do that. So
wow, I am impressed.
yeah, it looks very exciting. Anastasia Beaverhausen says, I saw a TikTok earlier that people are theorizing there will be an expanded underwater segment because the Ascend icon appears when Link lands in the water after skydiving. Anastasia Beaverhausen, we're on the same algorithm because they also saw that. It's just a little icon that pops up, but it has people thinking that we're going to be able to explore underwater as well. So
But I've seen everything.
Who knows? You're right. There you go. Zikamuto says, can't wait for IGN's review. 7.8 out of 10. Too much sky. That's, they did it with Pokemon. Too much water, whatever Pokemon that was. So, Korok poop on a stick, says Drake. Why not? Why not? You think it. If you can think it, then you can do it. So, a cuckoo on a stick. Put a cuckoo on a stick. Why not? You could probably do that. and then maybe it'll fly you into the sky. You can like put a whole bunch of them on a platform and put a stick on the platform and then ride. Oh my god, that's the first thing I'm doing when I get the game.
I saw this crazy Breath of the Wild video where a guy was being chased by a whole bunch of geese, those bats, like 20 or 30 of them, and he was holding a cuckoo in the air on purpose. So when the bats hit him, they hit the cuckoo, and the cuckoo went insane on them, and all these cuckoos came out and killed the bats, and there's like a swarm of bats and cuckoos kill each other.
Great.
It was amazing.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So, like that. I wish I could. I can think of some weird stuff, but I would never have thought
Everything
to do that.
well, part of what I loved about it is everything that I figured out, which was nothing, was it happened so organically, and that's what made it exciting. Like when the first time I lit some ground on fire and then flew in the air with the parachute, and then and I was like, oh my god, and then do like slow motion bow and arrow or something, then it was like wow, or chopping down the tree and like using it to cross the thing, and it's like it just had such an organic feel to it.
I think that that's a very important part of Breath of the Wild, and I think that feeling is going to be very present in Tears of the Kingdom, maybe even more so, just because of the ability to experiment with all these different things and combine them in all sorts of different ways. So yeah, I'm down, man. Looks really great. Highland Tom says, let's go, with a fire emoji. So yeah.
Let's go.
So let's go. So many people really, really enjoyed this footage, and I totally agree.
Don't go on Reddit and sort by controversial, because you'll meet the people who aren't excited about. The old me would do something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the internet. You're guaranteed to find someone who despises whatever you like. So
the game is fun.
Reggie, what do you think about unions?
My body is ready.
Whoa, really? Change of pace. All right, moving on. Super Mario Brothers movie. It's coming out April 5th. Lube and I were having a conversation earlier today. He's very excited to take the family to see the movie. So another one.
Oh my god.
We found out just how involved Mr. Koji Kondo is with the movie. If you're not familiar, Koji Kondo is the man responsible for a whole bunch of Nintendo's classic tunes in Mario and Zelda and a bunch of other Nintendo franchises. He doesn't do too much nowadays. He does a song here or there, but his themes are still riffed on to this day. The composer on the Super Mario Brothers movie is Brian Tyler, but he worked alongside Koji Kondo on the film. He says, Koji Kondo, who I adore and am friends with, all right, humble brag, was a big part of this. I would talk to him back and forth. Okay, what about this? What do you think if I did this for this? Because I wanted to incorporate things. Sometimes it's invisible or just like an Easter egg. The harp might be doing a line from a select screen on Mario Kart that only happens when you're in the waiting room. There's a part in the movie where Mario and Luigi are in a waiting room. And I thought it'd be cool if within the score, that's actually a mystery score. You could hear the harp playing the waiting room music. I wanted to completely dive in and make the film's music a feast for people who that watch it 1,000 times or Mario fans, but ensure it also works on a dramatic level. So basically, if you're a longtime Nintendo fan, you will hear plenty of Koji Kondo themes and other traditional Mario themes in there. He worked with Mr. Kondo to get these just right or just nice, JN. And I'm sure you'll pick up on some the first viewing and even more the second viewing. But yeah, I mean, we've heard plenty of takes on classic Mario songs in just the trailers and commercials so far alone. The film's going to be chock full of that kind of stuff.
I also heard that Chris Pratt has been working close with Charles Martinet, trying to get a lot of the nuance of the Mario voice down.
Oh yeah, they're also best friends. Yep, definitely.
Is this the rumor of the week?
Sweating a little bit.
You know what? Now I got to come up. I mean, now one has to come across my desk.
That's right.
Because I blew that one.
Kuribo says, so far the music score and other sound effects have been on point from the trailers. I'd imagine there will be as many audio Easter eggs as visual ones in the final cut of the movie. I agree. Yeah. I said in a post somewhere this week that I would imagine people are going to spend months pouring through this movie to find all the references and Easter eggs and hidden stuff. I mean, just this week they put out a commercial, and in the background of the commercial, it looks like there's a picture of Doc Lewis and Little Mac. I mean, I took a really close look. It looks like the two of them. So it's not surprising that there'd be a Punch-Out reference in the movie, because we've already seen in I don't remember, promotional material or something, or maybe it was the original trailer. They show a portion of a map, and on one of the maps you see like one of the streets is named Punch Out or something like that. So there's references to other Nintendo franchises in there, little nods along the way. Just remember, references, Easter eggs, and nods do not make a movie good. Hopefully the movie is great on its own, and those things are the icing on the cake. But a collection of like, I know that song, I know that, I recognize that power up, that doesn't make it a good movie.
I have spoken.
There you go. Ubisoft Paris apparently is not treating their employees very nicely. Oh, my dad's into it, I guess. This is in particular about the team that worked on Just Dance 2023. Apparently, the staff is saying that there was an incredible amount of crunch on this game, and they were given impossible tasks to tackle, especially when you consider the time frame. This information comes from anonymous developers at Ubisoft, and they were funneled together by the French union Solidaires Informatique, who stands up for unions and employees and all that jazz. They say that just 11 months before the game launched, Ubisoft was like, hey, you got to use a whole new engine on this game, so restart all that work. And they were like, what are you talking about? And they were like, can we push this out past Christmas? Can we do this like 2023? And they're like, no, it's got to be out by Christmas, so make it work. They were also, people were working insane overtime hours. They were saying 13-hour days were the norm, and some people were working 18-hour days, which is insanity. Also, I shouldn't even say this because it makes it sound like the game matters, but it's for Just Dance. So, like, the foundation of Just Dance is there, but now for some reason, this one's got to have a whole new engine, and you're cranking out 18-hour days on Just Dance. You got to be like, what am I doing with my life here? That's not a knock on Just Dance. You're just like, how much do we really have to do for this? Put in new songs.
How much horsepower do you need for Just Dance?
Or get the new songs, record the new dance choreography, and why do we got to do a whole new engine here? It's not like Just Dance players are like, when are they going to use a new engine on this game? They just want new songs.
Doesn't anyone care what I think?
Josh, tell me what you think. What do you think?
Up. I don't care.
Ubisoft was like, don't worry, guys. We know it's a lot of work. We got great news. We're going to hire more employees to help you out with this. And then guess what? They never hired any other employees. Great. So not surprising there. Ubisoft has not commented on this situation, unfortunately. So these poor people suffered incredible crunch, incredibly long hours, management that didn't listen to them or care about them. Unfortunately, this is somewhat of the norm, but we don't like seeing it. And the reason these things are talked about nowadays is so we can help prevent them in the future. Kerbo says, I hate seeing these stories, but it's good that they're being told. Ubisoft is big enough that it doesn't need to hit a holiday release of a game. Let people work normal hours and let them more time to finish a game if needed. Listen, I know Just Dance is a big mover at the holiday season. I know that always does well for Ubisoft around the holiday times. I know it's a yearly thing. I get it. But like that, listen, if you're going to mandate that a game has to be out by Christmas time, maybe 11 months before that, you shouldn't be like, we got to do a brand new engine on this game, get to work. Maybe that's something to tackle for the next installment. Oh, I was wrong. That's right. I don't manage.
No, you're right. They're right.
If you're going to do that, give people more of a heads up. Don't let them start working on this game and get deep into development and then throw that monkey wrench in there. Save it for next time.
Sure, why not?
Moving on. We got it. It was rumored. Turns out the rumors were true. And now we know all the details. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED edition was revealed. Again, this does not come with the game. It's just a fancy version of the Switch. And it's the one that was leaked. So all those leaked pictures turned out to be true. It's the real deal. There are select retailers who still have stock because they only just recently opened stock, but the majority of places are sold out on this. So hopefully, if you wanted it, you got it. It's Tears of the Kingdom design, a nice dock with a with a Triforce and a Zelda logo on it. It's beautiful. It's beautimous. Along with that, they also have a there's a Tears of the Kingdom case and a Tears of the Kingdom Switch Pro controller, which Dew and I disagree on. Dew did not like it.
I'm just happy they've got an option, because that Pro controller I love so much, and it'd be cool to have different styles. So even though I'm not crazy about how this one looks, I'm glad that they made it.
And I am a big fan, enough to the point where I am considering getting it. I just really like the design. Kirby says it looks so good, but I can't justify buying another OLED. That's what Dew and I were also talking about. This comes out April 28th, so a couple weeks before the launch of Tears of the Kingdom, as is usually the case. That comes out May 12th. This system is priced at $360.
Numbers.
So there you go. Hold on one second here. Tears of the Kingdom. Bro. There's one Mom Brain never plays. All right, Kirby, I'm going to show you the Tears of the Kingdom Pro controller. We will see if you like the design or not.
Wake up.
There it is.
I like it.
Oh, we got it. I like it.
Thumbs up from me.
Thumbs up from me. There you go. So yeah, obviously that's not included with the OLED. You have to buy that separately if you want it. I might do it.
It's just the white. It's just the one white grip handle on it that it just for me doesn't really do it.
I'll agree that it's divisive, but I like that kind. It's something that it makes it pop for me more. I just like it.
They should make it gold, like the color, because the design and the color on the controller itself is nice. So if they made that little white handle gold, because nothing else is white on the controller, so if they made that like a dull gold, that one like the rest of the color, I think that'd be nice.
See, if it was gold, I wouldn't want it. It's something about that white does it for me. I'm a big fan of white.
Reminds me of cows.
No, I just like the juxtaposition of that. It seems like it shouldn't be there, but it works for me. I don't know, but I get what you like. I get what you're saying. But if it was the gold, yeah, I would like the controller, but I wouldn't be so drawn to it. I don't know what it is.
Maybe
about
next
gold.
to the Zelda Switch, it'll match because there's white on that.
Oh,
Zelda
now we
Switch,
got to buy them all. Yeah, right. You know what?
I have to be?
Is anybody in the chat talking about how they feel about that Pro controller? I want to see what you guys think. I'm so on it. I already have a nice clicky button LED Pro controller that I'm breaking in for the new game. I like it all right, says PT. It'll look better if the handles were the same color. There you go. Thank you, Dew. All capital letters. There you go, Team Dew. Joe Shabadoo said, hello, Joe. Hello, Joe. Did Dew wear that today in honor of Breath of the Wild DLC Wave 1? It's true. That's what Link wears in the game.
I did.
Coleman says the Pro controller ain't pretty, but I still want it. Oh, there. We're getting all kinds of answers here. Does Pro controller have a flared base? Asking for Fred. Listen, you buy that Pro controller, you do whatever you want with it, and you put it wherever you think it goes. And that's all I'll say on that. Moving on. Charlie Day's the voice of Luigi in the upcoming Super Mario Brothers movie. And Charlie Day says he wants a Luigi's Mansion movie. Is there a Luigi's Mansion movie in the works? No, not that we know of.
So he knows Luigi inherited a mansion at least. Okay, good. Because he doesn't know that he's a doctor. And
it doesn't know that. Yes, that's true. Dr. Luigi is a game as well.
I thought, yeah.
No, you're right.
We're not mad at him anymore.
I'm not. I mean, I wasn't mad. I was upset with him. I wasn't mad at the guy. I mean, it is really stupid. I'm getting madder now the more that we talk about it. Yes. I would imagine, because we know in the movie, Luigi appears to be in a mansion with ghost characters and dry bones and stuff like that. Shy Guys. Or not Shy Guys, whatever the flying ones are.
Dry Guys, Shy Bones.
Shy Bones. So, yeah, I would imagine he knows of it because of this movie, but he wants a Luigi's Mansion movie. He says, yes, I do. Big time. You're not the first to ask, but let's get that out in the zeitgeist. Let's make this happen, okay? I am in. Yeah. How much does he want a Luigi's Mansion movie? Because he wants a Luigi's Mansion movie, or he wants to be paid the money? I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know how he really feels about any of this stuff, and we never will because he's only going to speak PR about the movie. We got no idea.
Who knows?
We would have needed to learn about Charlie Day's love of Luigi before the idea of the Mario movie ever existed. And I don't know about you. I've never heard anything about Charlie Day and Nintendo or Luigi specifically before this movie came around. Like Matthew Perry, big Klonoa fan. We learned that years ago. It was Matthew Perry, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Matthew Perry, Klonoa. So if Matthew Perry now said,
that's 'cause
I want a
he would
Klonoa
constantly
movie.
bring that up in interviews.
If he said, I want a Klonoa movie, I'd be like, he really means it. He wants a Klonoa movie. Charlie Day, I don't know. Can't trust him.
Yeah, like, what's his name with the Witcher TV show? He was all about that.
Yeah, exactly. We know that's legitimate. Yeah, Henry Cavill. We know he's legitimate. He's a big fan. We can trust that. But sorry, Charlie. I too would like a Luigi's Mansion movie, but I don't know if you want it because of money or if you want it because you like Luigi's Mansion. You never. Let's be real. He's never played a Luigi's Mansion game in his life.
I don't know, man.
I want a Luigi's Mansion movie. We'd all
that.
like to see Luigi in that mansion. Checking it out. That's probably what he'd say. He wouldn't say that. He doesn't know it.
Oh, that's right.
As being him. Currybo says, in the article I said, who would play EGAD? Currybo says, why Danny DeVito, of course. They have a great working relationship already, and It's Always Sunny. Yeah.
He's a little old for that, or he's a little young for that role, but Ki Kwan, but he could they could age him up.
Danny DeVito's got the hair for EGAD.
He does.
As long as it's white, it would be, he's got the hair for it. Who would be a good...
Now you're whitewashing the character,
EGAD. You think EGAD is Asian?
Is he not?
I never thought that, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, maybe I'm wrong.
What makes you think he's Asian? I'm curious. Would you rather not talk about this?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I assumed he was Asian.
Was it the Yabo Yabo Hey Hey?
No,
Yabo
that
Yabo.
would be
Hey.
That would be probably racist if that's why I thought that, right?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. So it's not.
I said, do you want to move on from this? I never ever thought he was Asian.
See, I was trying to be inclusive, and look at that. I was more racist.
I wondered why you went right to him, but who would be Luigi?
Oh yeah, why'd I go straight to an Oscar winner? I don't know.
Well, I thought I thought when you said it, I was like, I don't think they look similar. Maybe I'm not seeing it. That's what I thought.
I thought right, apparently.
But they don't. But this is also great because I was thinking. Clearly, we're talking about live action here. We're not talking about animated because we're picking Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah, that is a good point.
It wouldn't be that. It would be animated. So, guess it doesn't matter. You know who should be EGAD in the animated Luigi's Mansion movie? Chris Pratt. I really think Chris Pratt should do it. We already know he's got a wide range. He's a fantastic actor. He loves jumping on Koopas, as he said. What an idiot.
You're never going to let him live that down.
Moving. Oh, this is great. Great segue. It's about Chris Pratt. Pratt talked about being Mario and how he knows the criticism is out there and all that jazz. You know what? I don't even care if I'm claimed. I'm going to let Mr. Pratt talk about it in his own words.
So you guys have kind of poked fun at this. The voices. When the trailer came out, everyone was like, "Why don't they sound more Italian?" But I think the movie handles it in such a great way. So what do you say to the people who are saying they need to sound more Italian?
Come watch the movie. Go watch the movie and then we can talk. I really think that once you see the movie, and you know what, and in all honesty, I think you probably need to watch it twice. I think that in all honesty, the answer though is that this is a passionate fan base, and it makes sense. I understand I'm part of it. This is the soundtrack to your youth. Yeah. You don't want someone to come along and cynically kind of destroy it as a cash grab with the movie. I fully understand that. You do not want that to happen. And there were so many hearts and souls and minds dedicated to making sure that didn't happen. And you saw the movie. It's really honors the video game. It honors the world of Mario. And it's very promising as to what we could expect over the next 10 years, an entire universe of these types of movies. They're super nostalgic.
So on. There you go.
Nostalgic.
I appreciate him saying, basically this means something to people and has meant something to people for years. How did that turn on?
Is that a vacuum?
That's Frank the Roomba, yeah.
Sorry about that.
I understand him saying that, or I appreciate him saying that stuff, because yes, it does mean a lot to a lot of people. So that part I'm good. I'm sure he'll be fine. I don't think he's going to be bad, but I'm sure it'll be fine. You're not ever going to make me think, I'm very glad Chris Pratt was Mario instead of Charles Martinet, or even I'm very glad Chris Pratt was Mario instead of Charles Martinet, or even another actor. What actor? I don't know, but I can't imagine Chris Pratt's going to knock it out of the park to the degree where I'm like, he was fantastic. I'm so glad they went with him. Like, you know, Charlie Day is Luigi. For some reason, that works for me, and I imagine he'll. Maybe it's I just don't see Chris Pratt as a good voice actor, and Charlie Day sounds like a good voice actor and everything I've seen. I don't know. I'll reserve my judgment until the movie comes out, and like Pratt says, we got to see it twice before we can really decide. Then he says we can talk. I don't believe you, Chris, because we've never talked before.
That annoyed me a little bit. You know, go
You
see
never
it
call,
twice
Chris.
and we can talk. It's like, well, we're never going to talk, first of all. And second of all, she just wanted you to say that the movie's good. And you didn't even say that. You spoke for 3 minutes in a roundabout way about trying to make it good. Hopefully it's good. You know, like, whatever. Get out of my face. I'll be there twice. I'm going to see it twice anyway.
Kurubo says, at least he's aware. He doesn't deserve the hate. He was cast and directed. If people have a problem with the casting director, producer, and Miyamoto. It's better than Seth Rogen saying, I don't do voices. I'm not going to throw Miyamoto under the bus there. I guess Miyamoto, you got to pick and choose your battles. I guess Miyamoto recognizes you don't want Martinet doing the whole movie. I don't know what Miyamoto thinks, but I don't think Miyamoto's got the weight to be like, listen, Illumination, no Chris Pratt. I'm going to pick the American voice actor for you. Like, he's got no feet to stand on. He can just be like, this is how it is in the games. And maybe he'd want Charles Martinet, but he can't be, no Chris Pratt, here's another actor. Like, who the hell's he going to name? He doesn't know that stuff. So, I don't know. Being mad at the producer and the casting director, yeah, I agree with that.
Well, I mean, nothing's going to change if we, the audience, don't make it change. Like, we're all going to go see this movie, so they're going to keep doing all that crap. I mean,
that's the
personally, I would like if Mario and Luigi sold the movie, not the famous actors that are doing their voices. But this is the world we live in, and we're all going to go see this movie, so it's not going to change. And then next year, we'll have the remake of the movie, and then we'll have the sequel, the remake, and then the sequel.
Well, this is also this is something I talked about when I was discussing Guillermo del Toro's Oscar speech. This is a thing for American audiences with animation and animated features in general. If they're going to go see it, A, they think it's for kids. B, they need names they recognize to be the actors. Like Pixar and Illumination, or whatever you want to call them, Universal. Their movies put big stars, for the most part, in the notable roles in the film. They all do it all the time because they know, unfortunately, that people will go see the movie if they cast certain actors. So that's why they do it. I mean, that's why the Lego movie had Chris Pratt in the lead there too. And that's why, you know, I don't know, I'm trying to think. Zootopia had what? Jason Bateman, and what's the lady's name? I forget. All these animated movies, American animated movies, do this thing. They put big name actors in these roles, and they know to do that because it works. Because audiences are like, I don't know anything about this movie, but I'm trying to think of a funny actor to name. Tom Arnold is the main character, so I'll go see it. That's the way it works. So once audiences stop turning up for actors in animated movies, or they start turning up more for animated movies that don't have big name actors, this is perfect timing, neighbor. This is perfect timing. Neighbor's mowing. We get one nice day, and everybody's got, you got to mow the lawn today. The grass is not long
right now.
You don't need to mow it today.
Yeah, it was like raining all night
Look at
last
it.
night.
It's so
You don't
hot
need them.
here.
You don't need them. Are you really that hot?
Yeah.
There's a fan if you want to go grab the fan and plug it in. We used to do that.
Okay. I'm
It's in my
wearing pants. You're wearing shorts.
Yeah, it's in my office if you want it. It's not even plugged in. You're welcome to bring it in here and plug her in. Yeah, this outlet's open now too. So if you want,
Nice, yeah.
oh yeah, it is what it is. It's the sign of a bigger problem. But a lot of people don't see it as a problem. Listen, if people don't see it as a problem, then fine. That's fine. You know, what do I do here? This was something I discovered on my own on TikTok, and I really liked it. Yeah, I'll go about it. I think you should watch the TikTok to get the full story, but I'll give you the quick rundown. So I'm just on TikTok doing my thing, looking for old people getting hurt and kids getting hurt, and sometimes Nintendo stuff comes up. And this woman who is a big Animal Crossing fan, shared a story. Her name is Tattletav on TikTok. That's TATTLETAV. Tattletav, and she shared a story about Animal Crossing. She loves Animal Crossing. She started playing with Animal Crossing Wild World on the DS. And she loved Animal Crossing so much that she joined an online forum where they would discuss Animal Crossing Wild World. And you can meet up with other players to visit their towns and just enjoy the game.
It's free.
So it's free. You play for free. So one day she wanted to invite people to her town because she was really proud of the town she had put together. She had flowers she really liked and the paths that she dug and all that stuff. And she put out the request on the forum. She's like, anybody want to come to my town and check it out? And 2 people were like, yeah, here's our friend codes. And she invited them to the town. They came over and they wrecked her town. They destroyed it completely. They screwed up everything she had done. Yeah,
you can
horrible.
do that?
You can do that. So she was devastated. She returned to the forum to say, hey, these 2 users, do not let them come to your town because they ruined my town. And she was very upset about it all. And a few people on the forum stepped forward and was like, hey, we'll come over and help you if you need. We'll come rebuild your town for you. And one person in particular was like, I'm more than happy to come help. I'll come over right now. Their name was Kathleen. Kathleen said, I'll be there right now. You tell me what you need done. We'll get everything back in order. And she said her and Kathleen worked together and rebuilt the town better than it ever was. More impressive than it was before this stuff went down. And that started the beginning of her and Kathleen's friendship. And that friendship continued on for over a year, well over a year. She said literally every day, her and Kathleen would visit each other's towns in Animal Crossing Wild World, and just play the game together and talk and just have a great time. So she formed a real honest friendship with this person. Then one day, Kathleen didn't show up. So basically you open your gate in Wild World and your friend code people can come over and visit your town. And Kathleen, although she came every day, did not come this day. And then she did not come the next day. And Tattletav was like, what's going on? I went on the forum to try and find out. Couldn't see anything going on. 8 days went by with no Kathleen. Tattletav said they left their DS on all day, just waiting to hear the notification noise that someone was at their gate. And then they finally heard it. And it was Kathleen. Except it wasn't Kathleen.
Oh, no.
It was someone else. It was Kathleen's daughter. Kathleen's daughter shared the news that Kathleen had sadly passed away. Kathleen was sick and never told Tattletav that she was sick. Kathleen's daughter didn't play video games. But before this woman passed away, she told her daughter how to get into Animal Crossing and go see her friend Tattletav to let her know that she was gone. Because she didn't want Tattletav to think that she just abandoned her. And Tattletav shared this story because she's like, it's very meaningful to me. I still think about it all the time. This happened years ago. She's like, I still think about it all the time. Like, I lost this legitimate friend and never got to say goodbye. But she's like, so many people think, so many older people think that video games are a solitary thing and they are for recluses and they are a waste of time and they don't foster relationships. And she's like, we know that's not the case. We know you build legitimate friendships and games are an inclusive thing and you play with friends and family and you form relationships and meaningful ones at that. And she wanted to share her story just to be a little bit more proof out there that some wonderful things can come from video games, and you can build amazing relationships. So I thought that story, I thought that story was obviously sad, but fantastic as well. So do her a favor and check out the full story because I did. I'd like to think I did it justice, but I didn't get all the nitty gritty details. And obviously, you see her getting emotional in it. And I cried when I watched it. I sent it to my sister. My sister cried when she watched it. And she was like, why are you doing this to me? But it's just a great, heartfelt story. Guy Bones says, that is a wonderful and heartbreaking story. I wasn't prepared. It's like that Animal Crossing comic with the letters. Oh, man, that yeah. Famous part of internet lore in Animal Crossing comic about letters that a parent wrote their child in Animal Crossing. Go find it if you haven't read it. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, that's a tearjerker as well. So there's a nice little story for you. Speaking of stories,
I like stories.
the Super Mario Brothers movie will have a story, and it seems it also has something to hint at a future story. As many know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, those movies have teasers at the end for what's coming next. It's become a thing. Well, if you're into those, and I am, make sure you don't leave the Super Mario Brothers movie when the credits roll, because there is a post-credit scene confirmed by none other than Chris Pratt. He says, listen. Oh, he hangs out with me. He says, listen. There's like at the end of the film, there's a post-credit sequence that gives you a taste of what the sequel could be about. And that gets me very, very excited. End quote. There you go. They tease something. Obviously, like we've all imagined, Illumination is not like, let's do a one-off Mario movie, because Universal built a whole theme park around Mario. So obviously this is a relationship they're looking to continue down the road. So if the movie flops, there's going to be a big problem, but I don't think it'll flop. And they're planning a future. Also, not to throw shade, not to be mean, but if the Sonic movie can have a post-credit scene, and then the second Sonic movie can have another post-credit scene, and there's a third Sonic movie coming, I feel pretty confident that we could get at least one more Mario movie. So we'll see what happens.
You liked the Sonic movies, didn't you?
I only saw the first one. Nicky Hill saw the second one, and I said it was way better than I thought it was going to be. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It was a fine movie. It was enjoyable. If I was a kid, I would have been like head over heels for it. It was. I would say it's a good movie. Yeah, it's inoffensive. It's harmless. It does a good job with Sonic as a character. I thought it was going to be a dumpster fire. It was not.
Now you're not over the moon about this Mario movie as far as expectations. You're not thinking too much about it. So, but do you expect to like it more than you liked the first Sonic movie?
I expect to like it a considerable amount more, but I also feel like
for nostalgic purposes, probably.
No, just from quality of movie purposes. But I also feel like there's some things with the humor that I've seen that I'm not into. So like Donkey Kong
pop culture references for you.
Donkey Kong does say it's on like Donkey Kong, so
he's referencing himself.
Yeah, I guess if anybody's allowed to say it, it's Donkey Kong.
Well,
also Donkey Kong like flexing his pecs as like a joke. Like I don't know. I've seen humor where I'm like, but I've seen humor in trailers that didn't click for me, but in the actual movie it worked because you get a lead up and a post, and when you see it as the whole thing, you're like, okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. That's fine. But just as a little snippet, I'm like,
yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I feel like Donkey Kong is the most maligned Nintendo character as far as like he could be BA and awesome, and they've just made him like a big joke over the years.
Well, my understanding is, you think he's a big joke, really?
Donkey Kong, yeah. the big stupid gorilla that wears the tie. Yeah, I think he's they
always
goof
worn
around
a tie.
with him.
From day one.
I think they goof around with him a little bit too much.
Okay, hold on a second.
He should be the guy throwing barrels at Mario. He shouldn't be the guy going, I'm stupid.
I was going to say, could you give me an example?
When he goes, scratch, 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 head.
I mean, like, his idle animations in games, I don't know that I'd say they make him stupid, but he's a little like absent-minded, I guess. Yeah. In this movie, from what I've seen in the trailers, he's an asshole and he doesn't like Mario. So,
well, I guess absent-minded, that's why they would cast Seth Rogen. Like,
it definitely seems like
play off of that persona.
It seems like in the movie, well, we see Mario and Donkey Kong fight in the movie. We know that they fight. It seems like Donkey Kong is a little full of himself in the movie. We also know that Mario and Donkey Kong end up working together, and I believe reluctantly at first, from Donkey Kong's perspective anyway. So he's going to have some edge to him. I don't. Now he could be a jerk and stupid. That's also true. So we'll have to see the movie to find out. But I don't know. Oh, yes, I meant to mention this. Currybo said he's more annoyed with Seth Rogen saying he doesn't do voices because Seth Rogen said when they came to him for the movie to be Donkey Kong, he was like, well, if I'm going to be Donkey Kong, I'm just letting you know it's going to be me. Like, I don't do voices. It's going to be Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. And they were like, yep. So that's what they wanted.
I kind of appreciate him being like upfront about.
Oh yeah,
like
I agree with that. Yes, I 100% agree. For him to be like, just letting you know, I'm not gonna basically he's like, I'm not gonna act. I'm gonna be me as I am in every movie, which is fine. If you're exactly right. I respect someone saying this is what you're gonna get.
He didn't
from
say
me.
I'm not gonna act. He said I'm not gonna do voices.
Yeah, which I would say is, I mean, I guess yes, he's an actor. I'll just leave it at that. He's an actor, but he's an actor in the sense that like Steven Seagal is an actor or Liam Neeson is an actor.
It's funny that he's an actor, but he gets cast in
Rock
this
is an
voice
actor.
role, and then he just is like, I'm not going to act. Yeah, I don't care. And it's like, well, shouldn't real voice actors get the opportunity to do this role? No, I
That's
should
where
because my name's a popular name and I laugh funny.
That's where I differ. Yeah, I appreciate him saying he's not going to do a voice and being upfront.
But that's
but
like
also like, how about Jack Black is doing something with it. Like he's a gruffer version of Jack Black, but he's doing something.
Right.
Luigi or Charlie Day's playing up his character in Always Sunny, but even more eccentric. So I appreciate, like, I'm sure Anya Taylor-Joy isn't doing anything really. She's just going to be her voice, but it's not like you get a lot out of Peach to like, work with. So
maybe this movie will change that.
Maybe. Sokar says, oh man, look, let this just be the one-time thing and move on. It's bad to have Chris Pratt voice Mario, but to do it again, and on top of that, Nintendo has to be involved with the sequel because otherwise that would damage the IP. Sorry. And doing this while the games are made needs more staff. Yeah, I'm aware that Nintendo just got Nintendo Pictures, but man, even though it was his dream being a filmmaker, it sucks that Yoshiaki Koizumi would probably be under Nintendo Pictures at some point. I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about Nintendo's game time being eaten up by movies. Like their bread and butter is games, and like they said, Miyamoto stepped away to do theme park stuff, but games continued on. They're not going to lose sight of that stuff because movies don't come out as frequently as games do. They have multiple games in development at one time, and they have a whole calendar year of games. Whereas, if there's a second Mario movie, obviously they take a long time to make, but you're going to get a movie every couple of years or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, I wouldn't worry.
PT in the chat here heard my Donkey Kong impersonation and said that I was thinking of Tim Allen, and that's right. I was. So I take that back. I was thinking of Tim Allen. I don't know why I got that mixed up with Donkey Kong.
They get confused a lot.
They do.
It happens a lot. Josh.
I'm sure I can rustle Josh up.
Josh, did you have something to share here? Did you hear something?
Hey, be quiet. I think I hear something. NPD, 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 NPD. Be a swear that's what I sound like.
Oh, wow. Nice, Josh.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. By the way, Josh, you're going to have to update your programming. They are not called NPD anymore. It is now the Circana group. So these are the Circana numbers.
That was a really great
for February
I'm not calling
2023.
that.
All right, Kirby. The back and forth, you go until you lose. This is North America, February. All of video games, so not just Nintendo. Kirby, would you like to begin?
E-Ring Elden R.
E-Ring Elden R is number 7. Yes. I was
gonna have Josh answer for me, but I can't find his answer.
Call of Duty, bro.
What do you mean you can't find his answer? I'm confused.
Call of
Thank
Duty,
you, Josh. You're agreeing with Josh. Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Call of Duty is numero dos. Yes, Call of Duty's on here. Back to you, Kirby.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is number 13. Yes, congratulations, Kirby. Back to you, Do.
God of War.
God of War Ragnarok, I'm guessing, is number 11. Yes, back to you, Kirby.
Madden.
Madden is number 4. Yes, back to you, Do. You guys are killing it.
GTA 5.
GTA 5. I'm so sorry, dude.
Holy
GTA
cow.
5 is not here. Kirby, can you give me one more just to... You won, but one more to really lock it in.
Pokemon... man, I can never remember the name. Scarlet?
Pokemon Scarlet is number 14. Yes, there you go. Nice job. Nice job, both of you. You guys didn't get the number 1 game. Care to guess it? It was new.
It just came out? Or
it didn't just come out. It was new in January. So February is its 2nd month. Or is that wrong? No, maybe it was. Let me look it up to make sure. Either way, it's very new.
Must be on the Switch.
Is that Piper?
Piper's
coming over here.
Piper. It came out February 7th, so it's just a February launch. Piper?
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
Oh my God, she's coming in. Piper, come here. Yo, Piper. Oh, I'm petting her. Piper, I'm so proud of you. You came in to visit. February.
Oh yeah. Can we get a hint?
Yes, you are both very familiar with this franchise, for it exists outside of games.
Oh.
Extremely popular.
Oh, Harry Potter and the
That is
Hogwarts
correct.
Legacy.
It was Harry Potter and the Hogwarts Legacy, yes. Which is not on Switch yet, but is coming in July.
Oh, okay.
Number 2 is Call of Duty. Number 3 is Dead Space. Number 4 is Madden. Number 5 is FIFA. Number 6 is The Last of Us Part 1. Number 7 is E-Ring Elden R. Number 8 is Wild Hearts, which I really want to play. Number 9 is Like a Dragon, Ishin.
Like a Dragon, Ishin.
Number 10 is Octopath Traveler 2. So that's the debut. Debuted in the top 10. Good for Octopath Traveler 2. Number 11, God of War. Number 12, Minecraft. Number 13, Mario Kart. Number 14, Pokemon Scarlet Violet. Number 15, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
Unbelievable.
Number 16, Company of Heroes 3. Number 17, Sonic Frontiers. Number 18, The Last of Us Part 2. Number 19, NBA 2K23. And finally, number 20, Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line. Thank you. PS5 was number 1 in terms of hardware sold and money made. Switch was number 2 in terms of hardware sold. Switch was number 3 in terms of money made. That makes sense. Xbox was number 3 in terms of units sold. Why do people hate the Xbox? I need it explained all these years later. This is silly.
What do you mean?
Like, why? Oh, how can Xbox be losing to Switch? The Switch is 6 years old, and the Switch still beats out the Xbox.
The Xbox doesn't have anything good on there. What do they have? Halo. That game, the new game, was underwhelming.
But
what else they got?
The Game Pass deal.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Games Pass. I haven't touched my Xbox in I can't tell you how long. I don't want to play.
Well, what are you playing on PS5? That's PS5.
I'm not playing anything on
Yeah.
that.
So why is PS5 getting it?
Because people like Sony better.
I know, but it doesn't make sense.
Well, because the PS4 was better than the Xbox One.
I mean, I'll agree with that. I'll certainly agree with that. But like ever since the 360, they just can't do anything. Like they can't get people to buy their systems.
I agree. They screwed up the Xbox One because they made it like they wanted it to be an all-in-one entertainment center or something rather than just a video game thing, and that turned off a lot of people.
How can Microsoft not correct course, whereas Nintendo has had way bigger failures? And people will come back.
Well, I think what's happening is they're trying really hard right now to correct course. I mean, it's a great deal for an Xbox, and the thing is pretty cool, and you can play almost everything that you can play, on your previous Xbox or whatever. the games aren't there. If they, Nintendo's got games. I'm sorry, they do. And like Sony's got some games too. But like Xbox, like Microsoft doesn't really have that I can think of anything that's going to be a system sellers. Anything that you're going to be like feeling like you did when you booted up Halo Combat Evolved on your Xbox, your big black Xbox. Like you're never going to feel like that again because they lost it. They don't have any games. There's no games. They don't want to make any new games. They don't want anything new and exciting.
Well, I mean, they'll have Starfield. That's going to be really big for them.
Is that only on Xbox? Is that Xbox exclusive? That seems
so,
like,
right?
Isn't that Bethesda or no?
Yeah, Microsoft owns them.
But Microsoft don't play that way. Or maybe they will.
First, not everything they don't. For some to do. Starfield is Xbox exclusive. Yes.
Well, that'll be one thing.
That'll be a mover.
That'll probably help them.
Elder Scrolls, whenever Skyrim sequel comes out, that'll be a mover without a doubt. Like Sony's first party games are stellar. They're great games. Sequel comes out, that'll be a mover without a doubt. Like Sony's first party games are stellar. They're great games. My argument with PS5 is, can we get one? Can we get one that's not a PS4 game as well? Spider-Man's in the works, so that will be one definitely. So they're coming. Like I know that'll happen, but we're for PS5 to be blowing away Xbox by that amount right now, it's just crazy to me because as we've discussed many times, you can get the vast majority of the PS5's games on PS4. But I think people are just like, it's new and it's better. So I'm not going to tell people they're wrong for buying it. I'm just trying to figure out why Microsoft can't dig themselves out of this hole. So
yeah, it's tough. I'm going to say they need some hardcore software to come out. Hardcore software.
Like Conquer 2. You got Rare. Make a new Conquer. Yeah, right.
Rare ain't what Rare should be.
Yeah. Guybon says Switch third in revenue. Interesting. Well, I guess that is interesting. Yeah, I guess that's interesting. And NPD is called Circana now. By the way, good for you. Theater Rhythm breaking the top 20. People do like Final Fantasy music. To buy a whole game about Final Fantasy music. So the Super Mario Brothers movie, 1993 version. We all agree, classic, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
It almost had a very different story. Drafts from the movie before we got the script that was turned into the movie that exists now tell a very different tale. And we have some snippets of what the movie would have been about. And Luigi discover a ruby locket inside a pipe, which Luigi recognizes from a dream he had. He saw the same ruby locket in a dream. This is not all the details, but this is the best ones. King Koopa arrives on Earth magically disguised as a human. So I guess part of that stayed for the film.
Dennis Hopper, that's how he lived, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Mario and Luigi end up in a frog-themed diner with a large pipe in the back room. That pipe sucks them up. And they transport to the Mushroom Kingdom, of course.
Why a frog-themed diner? Why does that need to be?
I'm just telling you the facts. Mario and Luigi meet a 3 foot tall Toad, who in the movie is a thief sentenced to death via piranha plants. So he will die by piranha plants.
That's actually, I mean, it's, it would have never been a good movie. And it's obviously the movie that we got wasn't that good either. Yeah. It's got a special place, but it's not good. But arguably this would be pretty cool.
Well, I'm only halfway done. We would have seen Koopa's flying warship in the movie. That would have been cool. Koopa is gearing up for a wedding that will grant him lordship over the Mushroom Kingdom. Hildy will be Koopa's bride. Hildy in the movie eats a magic chocolate that turns her into a female Koopa. Kind of like Shrek.
My body is ready.
Koopa murdered the entire royal family except for the missing king and the princess, all to try and usurp power and the throne. Hildy is the child princess hidden away from Koopa 20 years earlier. So there's a plot twist for you. A prophecy foretold the kingdom will be saved by warriors carrying a ruby locket. Just like Luigi saw in his dream. The movie would have had Goombas, Koopa Troopas, Thwomps, Bobombs, and Hammer Brothers. And the Super Leaf would have made an appearance as well.
So as bad as that is, you gotta admit that they were like trying to create something.
Yeah.
Where it's not like just, I'm here to see President Yamauchi. He's your boss and the CEO of this company's building.
We could have had a movie with Goombas, as we know them, Koopa Troopas, Thwomps, Bobombs, which are also in the movie, and the Hammer Brothers. But instead, we got a movie where Mario rides a mattress down a pipe. So there you go. I will never forget that moment because that was the moment in the theater where I knew I was angry. Like I watched that and I was like, even at however old I was, 93, so 11 years old, I was like, what are they doing
sewer
here?
shark?
What are they doing here? Currybo says, the 1993 movie still holds a place in my heart. Us too. It's so bad, it's still an enjoyable watch. I agree with all of that, yes.
I just love thinking of, what's his name? Hopkins? Just being like, I played King Lear. Like, what am I doing here?
North America, what do we got this week? I'll tell you. Grim Grimoire, once more. A Light in the Dark. Air Hockey Arcade casual board game. Anyaroth, the Queen's Tyranny. Arcade Archives Bonds Adventure. That's Bonze. Arcane Veil. Assault Suits Vulcan Declassified. That's a Super Famicom game translated to English for the first time. Billy 101. Billy. Blade Assault. Bones Cafe. Bookie Pets Legends. Boreal Tenebrae Deluxe. Bounce Journey. Crime Busters Strike Area. Dashing Orange. Doodle World Deluxe. Dredge. Dungeons and Dragons Bundle. Figment 1 and Figment 2. Formula Retro Racing World Tour. Idea is an award-winning puzzle game.
Award-winning.
Conquest. Kitty Rainbow. Kitty. Like Dreamer. Lunark, which I did a review for. Magic World. Unravel the Magic. Minicar Extreme. Car driving racing. Truck, SUV, sedan, and cars. Mothered. A role-playing horror game. Nefasto's Misadventure, Meeting Norose. Norn 9, Var Commons. Orebody, Binder's Tale, Binder and Binder. Panda's Village. Papertris. Pocket Academy 3. Raffles World, how do you say that stupid animal? AXO, Axolotl?
DD
Axolotl?
Doo-doo.
You know,
what does it look like?
it's like little, it kind of looks like a salamander. Axolotl.
Uh,
And cat milk all together. Ratty Boy Adventures. Road 96 Mile Zero. Saga of Sins. Shukuchi Ninja. Squares and Numbers. Stones Keeper. Subnet Escape Room Adventure. The Hero with 1,000 Arms. The Last Worker. Ultimate Anime Jigsaw Puzzle. Voice of Cards Trilogy. Xiaomei and the Flame Dragon's Fist. And Yukiro Sign. The Shape has the first comment. They say, Kairosoft continues to put out addictive games and continues to sell their mobile apps on Switch for $12 to $15, which you can get on your phone for less than $6. Which is a shame because Grand Prix Story is one of the most fun little tycoon-style games I've played. So are you willing to spend the extra money to play it on your TV comfortably? That is your call, my friends. Josh, if you please.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
Do you want me to do it too, or do you want to do it?
I could do this.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is European Switch eShop releases for the week of March 30th, the year of our Lord 2023. Do Michaels filling in for the incomparable Nicky the Hill. Assault Suits Vulcan Declassified. Bookie Pets Legends. Bounce Journey. Bubble Puzzler. Cannon Dancer Osmond.
Cannon is a dancer.
Dashing Orange, Dredge, Gripper, Guns and Runs, Conquest, Crano Origins, Like Dreamer,
Crano Bash,
Lunark, MLB The Show 23, Mothered. Oh, they're making a new Mother game? Norn 9, Var Commons, Pepitris, Pirates Outlaws, Pocket Academy 3, Rat Boy Adventures. Ratty Boy.
Lube is back.
Hey, Lube came back.
Newspaper.
Well, we'll get to that right after we get finished with the European
About
news.
Okay, it's Ratty Boy Adventures.
How old is that paper?
I don't know. I found it in the driveway.
Run, Beam,
March
Galactic,
30th.
It's very brown.
Saga of Sin,
Drink a dance.
Squares and Numbers, Sudoku Master, Classic Sudoku.
Or as my parents continue to say, Sudoku.
They're not wrong. They're not wrong.
They think so. You're right about that.
Dubrick, the Jackbox Party Trilogy, and the Jackbox Party Trilogy 2.0, The Last Worker, Ultimate Anime Jigsaw Puzzle, and last but not least, Yuriko Sign.
Is there a comment?
There is a comment.
And it's sad that Nicky Hill isn't here for it. You read it. Go right ahead.
Yep, Guy Bone says Sudoku Master Classic Sudoku. Finally a game for Nicky Hill in his own segment.
Yeah, it would have been the perfect time, but he had to go and work with somebody who has COVID.
That seems to happen to Nicky Hill a lot.
Well, he works with a lot of people,
That's
and
true.
I'm not going to comment any further. Thank you, Deux, for filling in. Mr. Charles Martinet. Oh, here, this is potential spoiler. If you don't want to hear about Charles Martinet's potential role in the Mario movie, skip this segment and
But I've seen
timestamps.
everything.
We have a rumor, not confirmed, but it is some pretty respectable information. It comes from a noteworthy source. So the Spanish credits for the Super Mario Brothers movie came out, and it says that Charles Martinet is playing not one but two roles. Mr. Martinet will apparently be voicing a man named Giuseppe. We don't know who this is. No idea.
I wonder if it's going to sound like the Mario we know.
Yeah, right. But more importantly, Mr. Martinet will apparently be voicing Mario's father, which
Amazing.
that makes great sense. That's a great way to honor a guy. I'm sure I'll have two lines and be like, I hate my son or something. I don't know. But,
I hate my son.
Get down to my house. It's a disgrace. But yeah, we'll see. There's your, again, not confirmed, but from a very trustworthy source. So you will know if this is true or not in 4 days. You'll all find out. Oh, probably not. You'll find out when it tells you from their screenings, which is probably going to be Tuesday. Tendonin says, Hollywood being what it is, this is at least one of the more respectful outcomes we could have gotten. I hope he has more. I mean, he's very capable of doing all different kinds of voices. So it's nice to see he'll be Mario's father because that respects him in the role of Mario in the games. And another character, Giuseppe, where he probably gets to flaunt his acting chops a bit. So we'll see. Yeah, again, they're both going to be little bit roles that aren't going to matter. Not that Mario's dad doesn't matter, but Charles Martinet is not going to have like 5 minutes of dialogue. It'll be like, Mario, Chris Pratt Mario will be like, oh, don't go upstairs. My dad's really mad. And he'll be like, shut up down there. And that'll be it. You'll never see him on screen or anything. So there you go. That's the rumor right now.
Wait, was that a Deux rumor or a real rumor?
I don't know what you mean by that statement.
I mean, is it a rumor by Deux that is also real?
No. We also have more from Chris Pratt and Charlie Day. As we've said, they're doing the rounds, doing their press interviews for the movie. And they took a second to talk about a movie they would like to see that's not a Mario-related movie, but it is related to another Nintendo franchise. Both Day and Pratt would like to see a Metroid movie. Charlie Day says,
as Metroid.
Yeah, that would be a good one. We were talking about Metroid. Pratt says, that's really good. Charlie Day says, how interesting, creepy, and cool a Metroid movie would be. So at least it seems like Charlie Day does know what Metroid is.
Rated R Metroid.
Chris Pratt saying that's really good maybe he knows what Metroid is.
I don't think.
I
knows
know,
what-
and you don't need a
he's
Metroid
trying
game to be rated
say
R
it's
to
really
be a good Metroid
Well,
movie. It could be PG.
we don't need
PG-13
it. We've
would
got
be nice,
it. It's
but-
called Alien, and that's our Metroid movie.
That's true. So
It's even got a female protagonist.
And at the end, Sigourney Weaver is in her underwear. At the end of that
What?
movie.
That's right.
Wow.
Despite
She beat the aliens fast
despite
enough.
what's his face wanting her to be naked. Well, she said she wanted to be naked too, but somebody pushed back against it. So, we got her in her underwear. I know Brie Larson is a legitimate Metroid fan, and she has voiced many times that she would like to be Samus in a Metroid movie.
Yeah, I
Seems
forgot
like
about
a
that.
cool casting decision to me. She just probably wouldn't talk. Well,
Well,
let's be
she's-
real here. In a movie, they'd make Samus talk a lot. So
Yeah. Well, and she, like you were saying earlier, she's one of those people that actually has come out as a Nintendo fan
yeah,
previously. So
Yeah.
it's not BS, but they'll still give Anya Taylor-Joy the lead role in that.
they'll
other
make her
movie, so-
Samus. Yeah. And oddly enough, we've already gotten the information. Charles Martinet will be in that movie as well, and he will be playing Giuseppe Metroid in that movie. Curbo, as a top-rated comment, says Brie Larson has expressed interest in playing Samus. Katie Sackhoff could do a good job too, in my opinion. Who the hell's that?
Oh, she's on Mandalorian. She's what's her face?
Grogu.
No, the lady with the red hair.
Oh,
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. Yeah, I didn't know that. She is blonde. Yeah, she'd make a really cool Samus. I agree with that. That's a good pick. Wow, look at that. She's. I do like her as Bo-Katan.
Oh yeah, she was in Battlestar Galactica. She was.
I
Right.
still
Yeah, I
haven't
knew I
seen her.
recognized that name, and then when I saw her face,
She was
She
the
was-
woman
she
in
was Starbuck.
Oculus as well. Holy moly. Everything's gone. Nintendo, WWE. What more could you want? Yeah, that's a good pick. Nice. Oh, yeah. I can't believe we didn't get to this story yet. We're going to skip this last story and make this our last story. Guys, I'm so sorry. You've probably already heard the news, but if you didn't, I apologize in advance. E3 2023 is
I
canceled.
did hear about that. believe it or not.
Canceled.
I don't know why. Can you tell us why?
So E3 for the last few years has been, let's say,
COVID-ified?
lame.
Yeah,
It's
COVID
been-
kind of ruined
It's been a shell. It was even before COVID, but COVID really
Yeah.
knocked it out. So E3's been less and less important as far as what the industry
you get
is
rid of
doing.
the booth babes, and that's what happens.
So COVID really screwed things up, and then and shows are coming back. The game industry has been like, do we really need it? Nintendo was there last year; they had a booth, but this year, a couple of months ago, Nintendo was like, we're not going to have a booth at E3 this year. So other than that, Nintendo hadn't done anything at E3. Nintendo's been doing directs for years now. So Nintendo pulled out, and Microsoft was like, hey, "Yeah, we're not going to be there either. We don't think." And then Sega was like, "You know what, guys? We don't think we're going to be there." And then a rumor came out that E3 was canceled altogether, and then the next day it was confirmed it was canceled altogether. So, is it going to come back next year? Who knows? But I think this is it. As far as having a big,
Not at all.
not going to come back, Josh. I think as far as being a tent pole thing for the industry, it will be sad to see it go because, everybody's like, June, E3, we're going to see all the big new games. It's going to be exciting. And it was exciting. But, yeah, you don't really need E3 to do that because Nintendo started the directs and then Sony was like, we got this brand new thing and it's called State of Play and it's not like directs at all, and it's exactly like directs. And Microsoft started doing their own thing too. So these companies realized, hey, we don't have to spend all this money doing this stuff. We could just put it on our own, and then we get 100% of the time too and attention because it's our own day and our own thing. So it makes sense from their standpoint. Spend less money, put the focus completely on you. You don't have to travel. You don't have to put up with people. You just do whatever the hell you want. So E3's over. I don't know if it'll ever come back, but
You had a good Patreon post about it. I
Oh, thank
agree with you. I think that it's because it's not, before, when video games weren't all that popular, E3 was like the coolest show in town.
And now, like, I'm not a nerd. I'm normal. Look at all these people who are doing this.
Yeah, that was
Look
a
at all the
really
people who
nice
nerdier
point.
than me.
Yeah, and now it's games are normal, so you're like, we don't really need this anymore.
And they got rid of the booth babes, so there's no reason for Lube to go.
Yeah.
There's other shows with booth babes that have video games, so you could go to those. What was I going to say? Yeah, Patreon, GoNintendo, or patreon.com/GoNintendo. You can join it for $1.
It's free.
It's no, that's not true, Tim. Yeah, I wrote about a lot of things this week, but E3 was one of them. Kerbo says, not unexpected. All major players never signed up.
For $1.
And thank you, Billy. And minor players had all slowly voiced that they would not be attending. Yeah, I mean, the writing was on the wall. Jeff Keighley, the Dorito Pope himself, in brutal fashion. Brutal. As soon as E3 made the official announcement that they were not doing E3 this year, or the ESA, I should say, they said no E3 this year. Right away, on its rotting, not even rotting corpse, on its freshly dead body, Jeff Keighley took to Twitter and was like, "Hey, Summer Games Fest, June 8th, everybody, here we go." And everybody in the comments was like, "Jeff, cool it, man. Like, they just announced it. We know you're doing your thing in June. You don't gotta desecrate the dead body. Like, they literally just died right in front of you, and you're like, hey, my thing. Don't forget about my thing." So it's a little brutal.
What's wrong with
a little
you?
brutal. Thank you. And that's your friend Reggie. You're friends with the Dorito Pope. You got to talk some sense into him.
He's had too much Mountain Dew.
It rots the brain. You're right. Doritos and Mountain Dew. You can only do so much. Do the do, and then your brain dead.
Sweetie.
Okay.
Wrong button.
So that's your top stories for the week. You know what? Let's start with Lube. Lube, what have you been playing that you want to talk about?
Oh, cool. I've been playing Fortnite with my bros, and that's a lot of fun. I really like the new season. I like the theme.
Yeah, I was surprised I didn't hear from anybody last night. I was playing Fortnite Chicken last night because for the past few nights I'm the one that had been like texting people trying to play.
I didn't know we were playing Fortnite Chicken.
And nobody, so I was like, you know what? I'm not texting first. Someone's gonna do it. We've been having so much fun, and not a single person reached out.
Well, I signed on and waited for people to join, and nobody joined.
This is funny because I thought Adam was busy and we weren't playing, so I never texted. But I was like, I wish we were playing. So basically, what happened last night?
He might have been busy.
We all thought we all wish we were playing, but we never. All right, so I didn't know we were playing. What did you call it?
Fortnite Chicken.
Fortnite Chicken. From now on, I'll make sure if by a certain time the text isn't out, I will send it.
We should just make a Fortnite Bros chat.
We have one
with
iPhone users.
Anyway, this is my segment about what I'm playing. So, thank you, Dave. I'm also playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I got through Mass Effect 1, and I am going through Mass Effect 2 right now, and it's a lot of fun because I never did any of the DLCs back.
Really?
Back when they first came out. Yeah, so like the Bring Down the Sky DLC for the original Mass Effect, I got to experience that for the first time. It was awesome. For Mass Effect 2. There's the Shadow Broker DLC I never did, so I haven't even gotten into that part of it yet. But there's some other DLCs for Mass Effect 2 that I did, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. So I'm having a lot of fun with that, and then like reliving a lot of the experience of doing those little renegade moments with Shepard.
Martin Sheen. Why couldn't I think of that man's name?
Oh,
Shadow Broker, right?
He's the elusive man.
The elusive man. That's right. Sorry.
And then I also, on the Games Pass, Civilization 6 came out on the Games Pass, so I downloaded that onto the Xbox. So I've been playing that. But it's the vanilla version, so it's a little bit different than what I've been used to, because I'm used to all the DLCs for that, and now I gotta relearn how to play. And I also downloaded on the Game Pass Valheim, and I experimented with that and haven't gone back to it after the second day. Because, well, number one, because I'm playing a lot of Civ and Mass Effect, and I just really like those games more. But I'm not going to give up on Valheim. I'm going to go back to it and try to learn what I'm doing.
It's the old Monster Hunter slog again, where you got to learn like 8 million things, and then maybe something will click, and you're like, "Wait, this game's a lot of fun now that I actually know what I'm doing."
There's a lot of menus.
Yeah,
Trying to build stuff and just get going seems like it's tough because I don't know what I'm doing, and it's meant to be. I don't want to say meant to be played on a PC, but I guess easier to play on a PC.
yeah.
So I think they did the best they could with trying to port it over to like console controls. So. I've seen a lot of things online where I'm like, this game looks awesome. So I gave it a shot and it can be awesome. I just got to, learn the controls a little better and give it more than like, an hour. So
did I tell you could probably play with keyboard and mouse on the Xbox if you want? I would imagine you could plug them in and you could play that way if you really wanted to.
Oh yeah, you know what? I have a wireless keyboard and mouse.
There you go. You could try it. Yeah, I would imagine that'd work, and it probably cut down a lot of the frustration. So give it a shot.
Cool. All right.
Is that it?
Yes.
Kirby?
I didn't play anything this week.
Excellent. Do?
I played some Fortnite with the boys. Still having a good time.
Fortnite with the boys.
I made some purchases. I purchased the Claire Redfield skin, and then I did that with the V-Bucks that I already had, and then I had like almost no V-Bucks left, but I was like satisfied until some awesome dance emote came out. I forget what it's even called.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's good.
So I actually spent real life money, embarrassingly enough, again on Fortnite just to get this silly little dance. And then with the V-Bucks I had left over, I just bought the rest of the Resident Evil 2 pack. So I got Leon Kennedy, I got his back bling, and I got a really stupid umbrella, which is, it wouldn't be bad because like Umbrella is the name of the evil corporation in Resident Evil, but like Umbrella, like you'd think the umbrella would be
like their
red and white,
red and white umbrella.
Yeah, which is fine, but you'd think that would be like what your parachute, but no, it's a pickaxe. So you have to use either like the knife, which you get Leon's knife, or the umbrella, which is annoying because it's like I want to use the knife as my pickaxe and then the umbrella as my parachute.
How could you? How
did they screw that up?
At Epic did not figure that out?
I don't get it, and because there's plenty of literal umbrellas, like that's like the whole thing. That's how Fortnite started, right? With an umbrella as a parachute, and they totally screwed that whole thing up. So now you have to make a choice between one or the other. You got to pick one of your other parachutes that aren't Resident Evil related. It's a whole thing, but it's whatever.
That's weird.
It's not as bad, in my opinion, as that All Might thing you were looking at, because you wanted this one character and you couldn't buy him even with the bundle, and it was like a whole thing.
Yeah, the back bling for All Might. I forget somebody in the chat will remember the name of the principal in My Hero Academia, the little animal guy. You can get him as back bling, but you can only get him with All Might, right? And I didn't necessarily want All Might. I wanted Midoriya. But you can't buy the back bling separately. You have to only get it through the bundle with All Might. So I was like, this is a combination of everything I want and don't want. Like, I don't want to spend the money just to get that back bling.
I've never seen it do that before. I've always seen piecemeal stuff if you wanted it, like So it's kind of crappy that they're doing that to
Nezu. Thank you
to fans of whatever
My Hero Academia. Thank you, 10 Division. I appreciate it.
But so I don't know. It's fun, man. Who cares? It's so silly and stupid. I will emote with you guys to the end of time.
The best. Anything else?
Yeah, I beat Meg's Monster.
Hey!
Thank you. It was pretty good. It didn't do it for me like a lot of other games in that genre do it for me. The story was certainly moving. I was moved to tears once, and I told you that last week. Mm-hmm. But the story does something, and I'm not going to spoil anything for the audience out there, but it does something halfway through that really got me going emotionally, and then you have to kind of do it again, I guess, in a different way. And it's a lot of people I think are gonna like it, It wasn't really my cup of tea. I was all cried out, really. To be honest with you, by the time I got to the end of the game, I was, I liked it and I liked the story and everything, but I didn't get emotional again. I didn't cry again.
So that point you're talking about, in the middle, I cried. Then when I found out what was happening, I was annoyed because I was like, you had this emotional beat, and then you kind of undo it in a way. But then by the actual end of the game, I cried harder. So I was like, oh, all right, well, it earned it in my case. But I could see that point
for me.
It's kind of like Death Note, where in the sense says
very much so.
There's an endless discussion about Death Note where people think it should have ended at one particular point and it didn't. And I don't dislike what happens after, but I also agree. I think it should have ended at that one definitive point. Meg's Monster, similar situation, but I'm more okay with Meg's Monster.
Yeah, I don't think that we should write out that whole second part of it, because it still is good and it doesn't feel disjointed or anything. It's not like a whole different game.
Yeah. It all fits and it all works.
Yeah,
and it makes sense.
And I quite liked the ending, but it didn't get me. Like I was like in real trouble halfway through the game, because I was like, man, if this is only halfway through, how the heck am I gonna get through to the end? But no, I did pretty well. So, and then as far as like on the whole, if you're talking like this versus like Firewatch or Gone Home or Edith Finch or Detroit, or I don't even know if it's even in those realms, because it's not really. It's a story-based game.
I mean, that's tough. I don't know. They have similarities. I wouldn't group them together, but like the writing, and I can't speak to Detroit, but Firewatch and Edith Finch, like those are more elegantly told tales.
Yeah.
Or told in a more sophisticated manner than this, but that's not a knock against this. It's just a more simplistic approach.
It's not. And I don't know, the fighting system wasn't really like, you never really felt the stakes that much.
I think
with the fighting, and you almost felt like that was purposeful. It was more like story based.
I said in my review, I want them to take. I think there is something to the fighting, but I don't think you get it from this game. I want to see that system fleshed out in a game where that is a main mechanic. Here, it's just kind of like, and you do some fighting too. It's
right.
Like it's almost like, and here's what we'll show in the trailer. So I said, I think there's like 20 or less of those battles. I think 20 might be generous. But there's something to them. They just feel kind of,
and sometimes they switch it up. They're like, some of them are pretty creative, but
I think they're kind of lost in this game.
Yeah. And I mentioned last week that I wasn't too crazy about like just the look of the game, but
I agree with that. I'm not really,
but it's not terrible. And a lot of the characters, for as crude as they are, especially Meg, just there's like a lot of emotion. There's like a lot. There's a lot going on in just very simple pixels there.
Yeah, I think I don't know if that's a limitation of the developer or a conscious choice of the developer or the mix of two, but I also think of it as like a method of showing like how crude the art is versus how emotionally invested you can become with it. Like I like that juxtaposition, but again, may just be a limitation of the developer. I don't know if it's a conscious choice or not. So, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was worth for me playing it. It's not at the top of my like story driven games, but I'm glad that I experienced it, and it was it's definitely, what's nice is, I mean, I'm a video game fan. We all are here at this table. But what's nice is that
Kirby, he didn't play anything this week.
But what's nice is that I'm playing these games and not even really thinking about it. Because 10 years ago, you wouldn't have had me playing story-driven games and like it's nothing, And now I'll play them and enjoy it, and it's like,
hell, 15 years ago, half the genres we have now were either A, exclusive to Japan, or B, didn't exist because people would not buy them. So yeah, I mean, you're growing with the industry growing. It's great. Look at Lube. Lube played Coffee Talk. I would have never guessed Lube would have played Coffee Talk.
I'm funny that you should mention that, because Coffee Talk 2 is coming out on April 20th.
I got an email.
I already put it in my queue to download automatically when it comes out on the Game Pass.
Oh, is that Game Pass?
It is Game Pass on April 20th.
I didn't even look that it was. I know they sent me the press release for it, but I didn't look back.
It's in my queue, so I'll have it day one.
Well, there you go. Look, everybody's. I have an opportunity to get a review key for Coffee Talk episode 2. I haven't played the first one though, so that would
you
not
gotta
be,
play the first one to know what's going on.
I know that would not be appropriate for me to do. Here you go. March 16th, Coffee Talk episode 2 now available for pre-order ahead of April 20th launch. 10% discount if you get it on Switch.
Unbelievable.
Yes, day one on Xbox Game Pass. There you go. So when I share press releases, I go through and delete all the stuff that's not related to Switch. So I just deleted that from my own brain. But yeah, Game Pass. There you go. Also available. Oh, look at that. No PlayStation here. Really? Is that true?
Maybe.
PC, Switch. No. It's on PlayStation. It's everybody. Wherever you want to talk about Coffee 2, you can do it on. That's it. It's on everything. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's it. That's all I played this week.
Okay.
How about you, RMC?
What did I play? Thank you for asking. I played Fortnite as well. Always have fun. Doing a stupid dance with Deux. I also spent money on V-Bucks to get it. I used the last of my gold points or gold coins and added in like another buck or something. So playing that. I played things this week. Oh, I played you said the name of it, Crano Origins. Why is it called that? I don't know.
Go for the catch.
I skipped the story in the beginning because that's something I never do. I skipped it because I was recording a gameplay video of it. That's why I skipped. Let me just double check. Crano
that
Origins.
Was the most important part.
So Crano Origins is like a Mega Man game. It's pixel art. I really like the pixel art. It plays like Mega Man or Shovel Knight, so that's my kind of jam. I like that. I only did the first level and a bonus level in the video on our YouTube channel. You can go check that out if you'd like or you're interested. If you like the gameplay of Shovel Knight or Mega Man, then this should be right up your alley because it doesn't really do anything new, at least as far as I've played. But I will tell you one thing. The soundtrack is bad. I've only heard one song because the game has decided to play that same song in 2 levels. And it's really bad. It sounds like a MIDI song you would hear in a game on Newgrounds 20 years ago. I don't know if the rest of the soundtrack is going to be good, but this song is bad. It's just very grating, a quick loop. It's ruining the experience to some degree for me. I can still appreciate the game and think the game is fun to play, but it'd be more enjoyable if I had a soundtrack that I could enjoy, and I'm not getting that here. But again, I only played the first level of that, so gameplay-wise, fun. Soundtrack, not fun. I did my Lunark review, which I've talked about to death 2 weeks ago. But if you want to know my final thoughts on the game, you can do it. That's the cinematic platformer. And we have an interview with the developer coming up on Tuesday. I interviewed the developer because you guys know I'm a cinematic platformer freak.
Wow.
So I had a chance to talk to him about the game and his love of cinematic platforming. So look forward to that. There you go. Perfect. I feel like I'm forgetting something that I play. There's one other thing I'm holding off on, but
Something is looming.
I guess not. Yeah, I guess not. I'm sure I'll remember after the show. The other thing I was holding off on was I finally made good on what I said I would do for years because there was a sale. So it was the perfect time to jump in. I downloaded Atelier Ryza, the first installment. As we said, the 3rd game is out. We talked about it last week with fan service and all that jazz. So I've been wanting to play the first game. Oddly enough, just a day later, Koei Tecmo was like, guess what? 50% off Atelier Ryza 1 and 2. And I was like, this is my time to jump in. So it was half off, which made it $30. That's where I used my other gold points, which got it down to $11, I think. So I paid $11 for it. And I played the first hour and a half. And I have a lot to go. I haven't even gotten to the alchemy part yet, which I know is a big part of the game. But, I mean, I'm loving what I'm playing so far. It's got a real-time battle system. Oh, sorry. It's a real-time RPG, but it's, it's time-based. So your characters, they have an icon that moves down the screen that shows when they can attack, and then you do the attack that you want, be it magic or physical or whatever. So you don't just get to make a move whenever you want. You have to wait for the timer to count down, and then you go. Kind of like one element of Final Fantasy VII. But anyway, it's an anime game. It's not based on an anime, obviously. It's just an anime style game. I think the visuals look gorgeous, man. It's a really nice looking game. If you like that bright, cheery anime style, it's really nice looking. It's just it's got an atmosphere and a vibe about it that's really enjoyable. I'm really excited to see where things go. Like I said, I'm only in the beginning of my journey, which is Ryza is tired of staying in a room and hanging out with friends and not really doing anything. She wants to go out in the world and adventure, and she decides to steal a boat and make her friends come along for the adventure to go out and see what the world has to offer. And she ends up finding a young girl who is under attack, and they save this girl and they bring her back to the island that Ryza comes from, because Ryza's mother has found out that Ryza is out and about and causing mischief. So she's gone back home to get in trouble. You meet some other people on this journey, and they are involved with the dark arts of alchemy. And now they are about to teach me how to do alchemy, which is a major portion of the game. So again, I'm only an hour and a half in. I don't have a lot to talk about, but
You've much yet to
very
learn.
promising start. Very excited to see where it goes. Music is gorgeous. Visuals are gorgeous. Everything about that I like. I'm down. Oh, it's coming to me. Something I was playing. What did I play? I had it for a second and it's gone.
Hey, what happened?
Lou, could you do me a favor?
Yeah, for you.
Could you grab my Switch? It's in my office. It's in the dock by the TV right here.
Sure,
as
why
soon as you
not?
walk in. I feel like watch. I'll figure out. I haven't played anything, but I feel like it's something I need to talk about.
Wow.
I didn't play any more retro stuff.
Minecraft Legends.
Wrong.
Peppa Pig.
Wrong.
Zelda. Tears of the Kingdom.
Wrong.
Those are the 3 things you got on there.
You're looking at the news section on the Switch.
Yeah.
Clearly, you
That-
do not
that
use
would've been
the Switch.
exciting.
Peppa Pig, probably.
Crano Origins. Did all that downloads. Oh, I played more Bayonetta Origins. I forgot. Yeah, but I got nothing to say about that because I told you last week I love it. So I'm still loving it, but that's it. Let me double check. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you. So we're done there.
Would you like me to put that back?
No, we can leave it here. Thank you, though.
Okay.
We have questions. Please send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Ooh, goninpod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. Questions this week. Our question comes from Nico Darunia. Look up on Wikipedia famous people that share your birthdays.
Oh, yeah.
Who would you like to spend your birthday with, and what would you do together? Go to a special place or do a special activity? All right, I'll do this. I'll do myself first and get myself out of the way, and then we'll get to you guys. I'm just going to do August 19th celebrity birthdays. And I'll mention people of note. Who shares? Oh, this is great. This is really weird. You know who shares my birthday?
Kevin Cassidy, the soccer player.
No, I
Sad.
do know about him. Matthew Perry.
Really?
We literally mentioned him today. Matt Perry, John Stamos. There's a good one. Handsome guy.
You guys both got the same type of hairstyle.
Bill Clinton. Can't think anything bad about him. Noel Miller, big YouTuber. Coco Chanel. I did not know that. Fat Joe, the rapper.
Oh, okay.
He will be 52 this year. And
No, this is not true. This is not true.
oh, dude found a good one for himself, and I feel like that's good enough for me. Oh, you did yours, Lou?
I'm looking at
Okay,
it.
well,
I want to hear Do right. I want Do's.
All right, Do.
Can't
Do
even
you want to
believe
say
it.
the date of your birthday or just who shares your birthday?
I don't want to tell you who
This
shares
is so
this
great.
birthday.
This is so great.
You are gonna die.
Is
You are
it-
gonna
is it James?
die. You are gonna freaking die. Jordan Peterson shares my damn birthday.
Oh my god.
You know,
That's pretty cool, man. That's so cool.
Does Jordan have anything to say
Geminis.
about that? You two sharing a
Why would you
birthday?
hate that? That's so cool.
yes, he does have something to say. It's gonna take me 1 second to bring up what he says.
I mean, we do have him on the soundboard.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we have the what rules on there.
Oh, the what rules?
What rules?
I was gonna do this one.
I'm going to be your worst nightmare.
It's perfect. Wow, Jordan Peterson. I mean, do you even want to go any further?
rules, you sons of bitches?
There you go.
You know, I think I have to just to
Yeah,
show you that
I-
it's not.
I would agree.
So,
divisive.
yeah. Oh God, George H.W. Bush.
There you go.
Cool.
Oh my God, who else?
Wow.
Oh, Hitler. Just kidding. Oh, at least I got the good Franco brother, Dave Franco.
There
He
you
didn't-
go.
he
That's
didn't-
nice.
Oh, Anne Frank. Speaking of Hitler, Anne Frank. But I mean,
Franco, they're all the same.
yeah. Oh, here we go. Mark Henry, the wrestler.
Really?
That's not
Sexual
too bad.
chocolate you
That's
share a
not too
birthday
bad.
with? Wow.
He's maybe the one good one. There's a lot of people I don't recognize, a lot of YouTube stars and stuff.
Yeah, mine showed up so many YouTube. I don't know any of these people.
But that's so funny.
Kirby, I have yours if you want me to do them.
I can't believe
Okay.
Jordan.
Well,
You
there's
are-
actually
You are February 4th, right?
February 4th. There's actually a couple that I remember off the top of my head.
Who do you remember off the top of your head?
Alice Cooper.
Yes, I remember that. Verified right here. Yes.
Oscar De La Hoya, professional boxer. And,
not so good.
And George Romero, filmmaker and
Day of the Dead guy.
yeah, the Night of the Living Dead guy.
Well, let me inform you. Would you like a shining beacon or would you like the dumps?
Let's get the worst ones out
Give
of the
him the
way.
dumps.
Sure. Hunter Biden shares your birthday.
Oh, cool.
That's all I mean, you know.
Oh, I
Hunter
mean-
Biden's not the worst, but it, you know.
I was gonna say if Hunter Biden's the worst you can come up with.
I'm scrolling through now just to make sure. That's like all the notable ones, but you do have one that I think you should be very honored to share a birthday with. Rosa Parks.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Cool.
Rosa Parks. You and Rosa Parks. Also, the very famous YouTuber Hannah Stocking. Not a joke. She's incredibly popular on YouTube.
Yeah,
Never
when it comes to YouTubers, I'm like, yeah.
There you go. Well, people today would be like, "Who the hell is Alice Cooper?" But if you say Hannah
Sure.
Stocking, they would know. She's literally number one on here, ahead of Rosa Parks. So move over, Rosa Parks. Give that seat up for Hannah Stocking. Lube, go ahead.
I got Daniel Webster, the dictionary guy.
Oh,
the devil and that guy.
The devil
Cary
Webster.
Grant.
that kid from that TV show.
Oliver Hardy from
Oh,
Lorelai.
my dad would be happy about that.
Kevin Costner.
Oh, there you go.
I like it. I like it. You got a good birthday.
Dave Bautista.
Whoa!
Great birthday. No problematic Petersons on there. Well, you know what? I'm
You
a
also-
Gemini, so that gives a thing.
You also have another big YouTuber, Eugene Lee Yang, part of
I
the
saw
Try
that.
Eugene
Guys.
Naka.
The Try Guys.
Cool.
You have Jonathan Davis. Isn't he the corn singer?
I thought he was the Garfield guy.
That's Jim Davis.
You're
His
close.
brother, the brother of the Garfield guy.
Oh, you have Jason Segel.
Man,
Oh,
you got a
that's a
good
good one.
birthday. Very good birthday.
That's a
you
good
got.
one. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad.
Oh my god. Oh my god. How come this wasn't listed higher? Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase.
DiBiase.
Really?
Right here, 1954. Ted DiBiase.
Wow, that's an honor. I'm sorry, dude,
great.
you didn't get that one. But, we can't all
I
have
didn't
Jordan
get
Peterson.
Anything good? I mean, God.
Let me double check just to make sure my list doesn't have somebody else.
Where are you searching for this, by the way?
I went on a couple different.
I'm going to
sites.
famous birthdays.
Oh, on thisday.com. That's what I'm.
And Frank, Danny Gonzalez. He's a very big YouTuber. A lot of people know him. Yeah, I'd say your winner is Mark Henry. That's about all I'm getting here. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Jonathan Davis is the corn guy.
Kendra Wilkinson, the former one of Hugh Heffer's former loves from the Bunny reality show, whatever that was called. I'm so sorry, dude.
Spicy,
There you go. There's our celebrity birthdays where we like to spend a day with them. Hello, Solid Mesterlink, Dr. Nick. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to spend a day with any of them, I guess.
If it weren't if I weren't born on the same day as Nintendo, I'd have nobody.
That's true. Deux and Nintendo share the same birthday. We also have a Patreon question, Deux.
Cool.
Deux, did you know that you could join our Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Kyle asked a question this week. Do you think parents are doing a disservice to their children by indoctrinating them to like the same media? Mario, DC, Harry Potter, and so on.
Not at all.
For example, I like video games, Lego, basketball, and comics as my main hobbies, and I try to get my kids to like those things as well, actively, versus letting random parts of culture come to them naturally. I've met people with Star Wars or Harry Potter's names they get from fan parents, and they end up hating the culture. So should I stop or keep on keeping on? Very good question.
It is a good question.
Excellent question. All right. I don't have kids. I will not have kids. I do not like kids, but I will still comment on this because it's my podcast. I'm very passionate about things. If I had a kid, I would lock them in a basement. I would they would have access to the things that I enjoyed, obviously video games, comics, pro wrestling, anime, all that stuff. I wouldn't shove it down their throat. I would be like, listen, these are the things your dad's into. If you have questions about them, I'm more than happy to talk about it. And I think I'd leave it at that. I think it's important to let kids find their own things that they're into, and then even more importantly, support them in whatever they're into. You know, maybe my kid would be into coin collecting, and I'd be like, all right, dork, if you're into that, fine. That was a joke, obviously. I would never let them be into coin.
That was a joke, man.
Yeah, I just like the idea of kids really finding things that they're into and then becoming passionate about them. Because when I was growing up, my parents weren't into video games or comics or
You have like a
pro
reverse
wrestling
situation.
I came to
Mom, Dad, you're gonna like video games.
I came to find all those things. Well, my mom played video games. I came to find all those things on my own. They let me find those things and enjoy them and come to appreciate them in different ways. So I really appreciate that about my parents. But my parents also had their things that they were into. Like my dad enjoys a lot of music, and my mom was big into reading in general. So all that was there, but it was never like, you should do this, or why don't you read this? Why don't you? They never did any of that. So I would do what my parents did. I think it worked out great. I found things I'm very passionate about, and I love talking about them, but I think it's awesome that a kid can find something they're really into as well. That's it. That's what I say. That's what I say. Lou, you got kids?
Yeah, I mean, I think in most cases, kids will generally gravitate to what their parents like because kids, I think, I'm going to speak generally, but like kids put like their parents on a pedestal, you know, like what daddy's so cool, you know, and what daddy thinks is cool, I'm going to think is cool, at least when they're like younger, like littler kids.
I knew my dad was a dork. So
So I think in some cases it might not be that hard, but if you do push like too far, you're definitely gonna, you know, like sports, I think would be a big thing. Like if parents are like, you know, I love baseball and I love this team and you should love this team too. And like, no son of mine is going to like the opposite city's team, you know, and like stuff like that, I think is a big turnoff for children. But, I mean, we kind of were talking about this a little earlier today, RMC, like, as a kid, I really loved the X-Men cartoon. And I recently started watching it again with my youngest stepson, who's 9 years old. And I was like, well, I'm going to watch this. You know, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but it was like my favorite cartoon as a kid. I think you'll really like it. And he effing loves it.
Nice.
And I'm really excited because it's stuff that, like, you know, I really liked as a kid, and I'm really glad like he really likes it because he's not a huge like Marvel or X-Men or comic book fan. And I think maybe like watching this, maybe he'll want to get into that a little bit more. And if he doesn't, that's fine too. I don't care. But
Yeah.
as of right now, like, I'm having a great time watching it again. He's having a great time watching it for the first time, but we're having a great time watching it together, which is really cool.
Fantastic.
The naming thing is interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a bad
kids that
idea.
are named after, they use the example Star Wars or Harry Potter. Let's put it this way. I wouldn't do that to my kid. I can see a path to like parents being really into something and like they're very passionate about that and they'll be passionate about their kids. So it means something to them. I get it. And to be fair, all names are given to kids because the parent they either like the name or it's a connection in the family or there's something influenced them that they like that name. So it's all kind of there. But like, you know, do I want to be named? I forgot the damn thing's name again. And it'd be funny.
I think
the
of
Star Wars character. Come on.
Chewbacca.
Salacious Crumb. It'd be like, do you want to name your kid Salacious Crumb? Like,
this is Chewbacca Smith.
yeah. But like, there's a wrestler who is huge into Marvel, and he named his kid Quill. And I think Quill's kind of a cool name, but yeah, then like, what if the kid, you know, doesn't give a crap about comic books or anything, or ends up like love comics but hates Peter Quill?
What
like,
if he likes feathers?
Oh, maybe it'll work out. It'll get big into feathers. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't want to say it's wrong. I don't want to say it's bad, but I wouldn't be comfortable doing that. I'd be like, I don't want to.
That's what
I don't
dogs
wanna
and cats are for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that way. I don't want to like.
No,
what's the word?
I agree, especially if the name is like super unique, like Quill, you're not going to come across anyone else like
Yeah.
that. But like, let's say like I'm looking at a picture of like Wolverine, and like if somebody named their child Logan, you know, like that, it doesn't have to be because, you know.
Logan, yeah, Logan is enough of a normal name that you could say like, listen, I like Wolverine, but
I really like Logan Paul.
I love Peter. It, like they really should name the kid Peter, but like they named him Quill.
I name you after the world's greatest influencer.
Yeah. Well, how about when Game of Thrones came out and everyone named their daughter Khaleesi, and that's just so trashy to me, you know? And then it turns out well, no spoilers.
Yeah.
You don't want to be named Khaleesi after the show's over. Let's just say.
How funny would it be if like your parents were like, well, your mother and I are really big into comic books and we love Spider-Man, which is why we named you Spider-Man.
That's what, yeah, exactly. That's what's so funny about it.
Yeah, or like, okay, I'll try to go about it without naming names, but a family who's really into baseball naming their child after a famous Phillies person's last name that happens to sound like shovel.
Yes.
The name was Schmidt. They named their child Schmidt.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
As a first name.
Shovelly Schmitty.
Yeah. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
We really love baseball, so your name will be Dugout. Come here, little Dugout.
Your name will be Baseball.
Like it's not even a good first name. Like Schmidt is not a good first name.
It's not a good last name
really
either,
bad.
actually.
It's just not a good. Sorry, anyone listening, if your name is Schmidt, it's not your fault. You didn't choose the name.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Like,
So
do you,
yeah,
do you
it's
think that
interesting.
child's gonna grow up like loving the Phillies because he's named after like a
See, that's the other thing. You could go the route of, like they said, will they have the ties to this thing and hate it because of that.
Feel like
'Cause,
my parents crammed this down my throat for like 15
look at me
years. Like,
and
I'm sick of it.
like history
It was
and all that
practically
stuff.
child
I can't-
abuse.
Like it was cool, Dad, for a while, but I don't want to do it anymore.
My parents and cramming history down my throat. I know a ton of it now, but I also can't stand listening to it or thinking about it or being involved with it or going to anything outside. My parents did that all the time, literally every weekend, and it drives me nuts. I don't want to be outside. I hate being outside. Outside is a punishment for me in my own head. I just don't like
that's
it.
the opposite. I was outside every weekend, and now like I still love.
Yeah,
going
but
outside.
by choice, right?
Well, no, I mean,
you joined the Boy Scouts because you wanted to be, right?
well, because my dad
course,
was in the. My father was in the Boy Scouts, and they wanted me to kind of do it, so I did it. But I enjoyed it, and I liked doing it.
Yes. See, I did outside and did not.
Yeah, it can go either way, kind of thing. You know, I was pushed really hard into sports as a kid by a father who was really into sports, and I can't stand sports today, and I couldn't stand them then. You know, but there's a lot of things like old movies or old music that I got into because of my parents, and it wasn't that they didn't try to push that on me. It was just kind of around.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I probably would have enjoyed basketball and baseball on a recreational level if it was just around, but it was like a business in my household, and like business wasn't good. So, like, you know, so I've got like I think it's important for, you know, kids to be exposed to like some of the things that their parents like. I think that's like sometimes the only way to get them into older stuff, because I feel like they're going to get into the new stuff anyway. They're going to have friends at school. They're going to be going away from their parents to school to be with friends, hanging out with kids their own age, and pop culture is always changing.
The kids are getting into Jenkum without the parents.
Yeah, they're going to be. They're going to be.
I didn't have to push my kids into that. They were all for it.
So I think
I'm not worried about my kids. They'll learn about Lemon Party on their own.
It's nice. I think it's important to have a good balance. I think it's important for kids to, you know, as much as I, as an old person, don't understand any of the pop culture stuff, I think it's important for them to, you know, find it and like it if that's what they like, and then also have a little bit more well-roundedness with, you know, maybe their parents or older siblings likes as well.
And now you have kids that are like, I love TikTok and Andrew Tate, and you're like, no, not like this.
Well, yeah, then that's a whole.
I love the
other thing.
manosphere.
You know, we didn't have to. This is why. I mean, I couldn't be a parent anyway. But like, I could never be a parent now with like just all this stuff going on right here for them to see.
Nightmare.
And like, I don't even want to think about it. And then with schools, especially in this country and all that stuff, like I don't even want to think about it. I'd rather get a puppy.
Parents are going to be naming their kids
that I know.
There be whatever you
And then
want,
I can,
whatever video
yeah,
game
exactly. I can
Parents
name
are
it
going to be naming
Leon
their
S.
kids
Kennedy.
Andrew Tate.
They don't care. That puppy's still gonna love you, even if his name is
Sephiroth. Little
Yeah,
Sephiroth.
right.
little Jordan Peterson.
Little Jordan
birthday
Peterson.
mate.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a litter mate born on my birthday.
Well, there you go. Thanks. That was a great question. And as you might have guessed, we have no music today. So all we got left, well, if you have a rumor for us to.
Oh. Yeah, something came across my desk.
Oh, we get so lucky every week.
We do. So they were asking, as we know, we talked about earlier. Oh, forgive me. Deux views.
There we go.
It's never news. I don't know. I almost sang the Petite Feet song there for a second. I forgot what the next lyric was.
It's never news.
Yeah, so we know that Charlie Day and Chris Pratt were all about doing more Mario movies, maybe a Luigi's Mansion, maybe a Metroid movie. Well, Nintendo has been in talks with two big, giant actors
Oh, I'm excited.
for a buddy, not buddy cop movie, a buddy crook movie, they're calling it. It's going to be Waluigi and Wario as the two brothers in arms, if you will, and they will be played by Wario is going to be the guy who played Sipowicz on NYPD Blue.
Oh,
he's huge.
that's a good one.
And Waluigi is going to be played by Steve Buscemi.
Oh,
And,
that's good too.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's going to be rated R as well, and it's directed by Oliver Stone.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Lots
So
of
we'll see.
F-bombs.
That's good too.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's going to be rated R as well, and it's directed by Oliver Stone.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Lots
so
of
we'll see.
F-bombs.
Yes, did the screenplay, so it should be really, really sinister.
Dennis Franz, by the way.
Dennis Franz, yes.
Will he be showing his ass in the Wario movie as he did in what was that? NYPD Blue.
As far as my
Your sources.
as far as my sources say, it was in the contract. He Dennis Franz made them put that in the contract. He wouldn't do it unless
Wario farts a lot. Can I show my ass and fart? There you
yeah,
go.
and they're going to be doing Dennis Franz wanted to go on like a really high fat diet and do the farts himself, but I think they're going to do CGI farts.
That's great. So he
we'll
wanted
see.
to method act it, but they wouldn't.
He wanted to methane act.
Oh!
Hey! Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
What an end to the show. All right, everybody. He's right. That's it. We're out of here. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
We gotta celebrate.
We got that in there. All right, after show. We got you. Whatever you want for a couple minutes. We got you.
I love Dennis Franz in Homer Simpson, Portrait of an Ass Grabber.
That's right. I forgot all about that.
Time to grab me some sweet.
Speaking of old Simpsons, yesterday or the day before, me and the kids were looking at celebrity birthdays, and it was Gordie Howe's birthday.
Nice.
And where they said Gordon Howe, and I was like,
Nice.
Gordie Howe.
Strap on your skates, Gordy. You're going in.
Yeah. And they didn't know. I was like, really excited, and they didn't know.
Well, what's funny is like even
You
back
don't know
then,
Gordie Howe?
even back then, I didn't know who Gordie Howe
Yeah,
was, but
exactly.
like I did because of the
only
show.
know because of that one episode.
Oh, yeah. I should have said that. Wait, Anastasia Beaverhausen, this is your TikTok in particular? I got to follow if that's true. It is. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to play this out loud. I'm so sorry. I'm going to follow and I will look at this later. What was I going to say? Oh, yes. We had Quince. Quince is the guy who does a block of news on a site on Tuesdays and Thursday. Yes, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. He's man. This picture is unbelievable.
How quickly did he come? Like, did that happen?
He asked an AI to do it.
Wow, that's great.
Quince went to a Super Mario Brothers movie event for me. It wasn't for a screening of the movie. He got to go, I guess Shake Shack is doing like a special tie-in with the Mario Brothers movie. And he got to go do a special launch party in New York City. New York City with Chance the Rapper, who's a huge Mario fan. Chance was talking and partying up and DJing the event. And Quince was there and got to hang out. And he got those hot sauces, those Mario Brothers themed hot sauces that came out that we talked about this week. So he's going to have a feature, a write-up about that coming this week to talk all about the event. So look forward to that. It's some fancy hot sauce company. I've never heard of them, but I looked into them. Apparently, they're
It's too bad they weren't giving those out when you went the other week, because then we'd be trying these hot sauces.
You're exactly right. No, the thing I went to, they didn't do anything.
Well, you got to see some boots.
I saw boots. That's true.
I
did
see the boots.
And
the van.
And the van. I saw the van.
Those
I got
boots are probably more expensive than that van.
Yeah, I got to go to the American Girl store, American Doll store, whatever it's called.
Well, that was, you had a nice time and you told that story, but that really has nothing to do with Nintendo and hot sauce. Doesn't put the hot sauce in my mouth now, does it?
That's true. They did send me their press release, so if you want me to try reaching out to get the kit, I could try. Would you try?
Of course I would, but I
send an
wouldn't
email.
want you to use, pull any strings for that. You should pull strings to get yourself a Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, no, it's not Nintendo. It's the actual hot sauce company. I just forget their name.
Okay.
Do you know who I am? I am Rami Cowboy from the site GoNintendo. Give me some.
Let me
hot sauce.
stress this. They emailed me first.
Do you know who
emailed
we
you? How to
are?
get to you?
I am Rami Cowboy from the site GoNintendo. Give me some.
Let
hot
me
sauce.
stress this. They emailed me first.
Do you know who
emailed
we
you? How to
are?
get to you?
They
then?
emailed me. Yes. Yeah, they sent me the email press release about these hot sauces, which I didn't know even existed before that. So, well, guys, I guess by this time next week,
We'll all be dead.
we'll all be dead. we'll be talking about the Mario movie. We'll be sharing our impressions of the Mario movie.
Oh wait, are we gonna see that this week?
Well, it comes out Wednesday. I'd imagine I'll go Friday probably.
Every other movie, I don't think you want to see movies with me anymore, and that's okay. We can talk about this off air.
What do you mean? Why?
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Why? No, I want to do this. What are you talking about? I
don't know,
desperately want to go to the movies with you.
I don't know why you don't want. Like, I get why you don't want to see Marvel movies with me anymore, and I don't blame you, and I'm glad. But like, yeah, like I don't know why you didn't. I mean, I guess your schedule's a little up in the air. That's why you don't. Have
Are you
a
asking
concrete
why I
date.
didn't invite you?
Well,
why I didn't invite you to this?
Well, why you're just talking like I don't know when I'm going to see it. I guess I'll see it this. I'll see it this. It's like why not when we're going to see it? Like, aren't we all going to go see the Mario movie? Wouldn't you want to see that? I mean, I know you're seeing it with your kids.
I'm
but
only
like,
saying I guess because I figured if
you can come watch it with me and my
if I was going to go,
I'll invite you.
I appreciate that. Lou.
Let me give you the whole line here.
there's a line.
I only said I said it the way I said it because I'm not going Wednesday. If I'm going to talk about it on a podcast Saturday, that would mean I'd have to see it Friday, and I don't know what time Friday. So I figured what I would do is look at the times and ask you what time you wanted to go.
So I didn't get an invite yet.
No one has been invited at all.
Okay.
Mom Brain doesn't even know we're going.
Dude,
so
he's
she's
washing
not
his hair
invited.
that night.
there are. Let me stress this.
I'm washing my beard that night.
The only thing that has happened so far was Mom Brain this week when we watched Raw. There was a commercial for the Mario movie, and she said we should probably get tickets for that soon. I said, yeah, probably, and that was the end.
You know
of
what? I come back because Rameen and I were also talking about that earlier, and we don't even know if the Peaburg movie theater is going to be open or not.
We're not going.
Well,
Oh yeah, I don't think it would be at that.
We are going to the North.
I'm not dying for the Mario movie. Yes, I would be honored and privileged if you. Let me put it this way: when I figured out when the movie was, I was going to text you and ask you if you want to go to the movie.
Yeah, the answer would be yes.
All right. Here, that's pretty rude.
I would ask him too, obviously. Really, if I'm ever going to ask people to the movies, it's these two right here, and Nicky Hill, but he's an hour away. You're the one that said you can't go anywhere all the time. Yeah,
not me. Never me.
You're going with your family.
Yeah,
you're going to Peaburg.
No, well, we're going to go to Northampton.
Oh, all right. Well, anyway, I hope all of you go see the Mario movie this week, and we can all talk about it on the next podcast. I'll read your feedback from the chat. But as for tonight, I hope you're watching WrestleMania. If you got Peacock, you can watch WrestleMania. No extra cost. At no additional fee, you can watch WrestleMania.
Just a low price of
$5.
Your internet subscription.
You got to pay for your internet, and you got to pay $5 for Peacock.
And you have to own a TV.
No, you can have a phone.
Oh, so then you have to pay for the phone.
No, you could borrow a family member's phone.
Who got it? How?
They stole it. I know they did. They told me. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Rest. Relax. You deserve it. We will see you next week.
Meow.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Candy boys.